So, I'm gonna have to ask this question so I have an idea for a funny thumbnail. Which part is gayer, part 5 or 6?
I think they're similar in the sense of like when people talk about like the JoJo art style and the JoJo posing that is innately gay, they mean 5 and 6.
Yeah, I know it's hard not to think of like a Giorno like pulling at his shirt saying he's gonna be a gang
Yes.
star.
No, I think 5 and 6 are like the gay JoJo aesthetic that everyone talks about. Like I think this is it
Yeah,
personified.
we were flirting with it a bit with Josuke near the end, like literally just like that final page, but like that doesn't
hmm
compare to what comes after.
hmm
So, what do you think of part 5, Vento Aureo?
I really like part 5. It's the most battle shonen ass part.
Yeah, I think so far it's like the most like solid part, like easily.
Yeah, there's one gaping hole that a novel had to fill, but
Oh
otherwise,
yeah, okay, yeah, that we'll talk about
there's one
that.
novel-sized hole. But
I think
um,
usually what people pointed to as the weakest point is actually Giorno, which like I couldn't
which
disagree
here's
with
the weird
more.
thing: if I never met someone with that opinion, I wouldn't have known people thought it.
Giorno's a shitty JoJo. Bucciarati's the real main character.
Yeah, as Best Guy ever says. Here's what's weird about that. Again, like if I didn't meet online discourse, I never would have known people thought
Oh
that
no,
because
best guy ever doesn't think
JoJo
that. He
is
was making fun of
like
people who
like
think that.
I know, yeah, I know. He was joking. No, but here's what's weird, Puff, and I mean this. Giorno is like really proactive. Like, what do you want from this man?
I think it's like the thing where people mistake stoicism for like being a bland character, I
What's
guess.
funny is I don't even think he's stoic.
Yeah, no, like compared to Jotaro, he's not all that
No,
stoic. Like compared to Josuke, I guess, but Jotaro's
like
like a
he's
stone
able to
wall.
stay collected, but like, yeah, no, it's also because like he is very proactive. Like, especially early on, he's involved in Mista's first fight and Abakio and Fugo's first fight. He kills himself to prove himself to Abakio, and then he almost kills himself again to prove himself to Fugo and Abakio again because Abakio's stubborn.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that
Like,
like conceptually and like just kind of in practice, I think he's the best protagonist we have so far.
I like him a lot. I like
Yeah.
Jolyne a lot too, though. It's like Jolene's also good conceptually. No, I really like because I really like how was the thing that makes Giorno so fun is everyone else like this is the first arc or first series where every main character besides Fugo for reasons gets like a full on flashback explaining their deal before one of their big scenes. And then you have Giorno who does not even comprehend what he is a part of.
No, I mean we get like a brief flashback. That's just what he knows. He doesn't know the full story.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know anything. Like he literally knows nothing. And that's kind of like the beauty of it is even though he's very clearly like like he literally inherited mannerisms from his dad. He says Muda, he yells Re. He's a very he's a very Dio ass guy. Uh he's also kind of funny. Is I think he's actually is an example of a good NDO. And again, you could say it's because he has Jonathan blood, but like he is in the sense of he's also someone who grew up in a shitty environment, but then found the good in that shitty environment and wants to take control of it.
Yeah, I guess like if we were to like if this is like a response to oh Dio was evil because eugenics thing, then maybe you could think Dio was just surrounded by rich people he always hated, but like maybe if like he met like I don't know, like a noble thief, maybe that would have put him on the right path. Whereas like
If he
like
just met
Giorno,
Speedwagon.
yeah, like literally Giorno just like met like a gangster who treated him like a human, and he was
Mhm.
like, oh shit, he's the coolest guy. I want to be like him when I grow up.
Yeah, because he almost view because the police are comedically police are just like ATMs in part 5. So like it really is up to the mafia to protect people in part 5. They're so useless. Uh and like I because the other big thing with part 5 is you and I talked about like how the fuck to describe the theme, and it's like it's basically to reject your past and take control of destiny you have to have conviction and strong bonds. You need all of those because you see tons of characters in the series that are lacking in one or another. A big one is like I think of like when Fugo kills Man in the Mirror, and the Man in the Mirror is like, "No, my conviction was strong enough." Or like when Vanilla not Vanilla Ice, White Album. When White Album dies, he also yells about how his conviction was strong enough.
Yeah, but they didn't team up because they were stupid.
Yeah, they didn't have teamwork.
Yeah.
And then the teamwork boys, we'll get to them. But and also I actually think this is the fight where we really start going into like sometimes even rejecting strategy for the sake of theming. Like I think almost every fight in this has like a strong like theme to it. Whereas I'd say some of the fights in part 4 and 5 are like it's highway go go.
It is Highway Go Go. We gotta figure out how to deal with Highway Go Go.
Like like
This
there's
is
development
great. I
in
like
it
Highway
on
Go Go, but
like it's a fun fight and there's development in it for the characters. But whereas in this, some fights, even ones that are less strategic, usually all have like a theme. Another thing I actually really like is a lot of the fights are from the POV of the villains. I think one of the earliest ones that's really fun is Narancha's first fight. Actually, we learn the main villain's power first, and the POV is the main villain trying to stop Narancha, and him trying to learn what Narancha's power is.
yeah, which is like weird because like usually it's like oh like Naranci's stand is like fairly straightforward, so there's not like there's a
Yeah,
mystery behind it. It's just that like they're true like oh he's the powerhouse here and this is the little guy who has to sneak around, so we
yeah,
just
which
follow
is
the
why
little
it's
guy
yeah,
sneaking around.
it's a fun like yeah, or like fights take different angles. Like the Peshki fight is mainly from Peshki's POV, and this poor fuck.
Yeah. One thing you said about like how it's really good at theme, I think like one of the reasons for that, and I think we got a comment about this about how Giorno was like really good as like a support unit, and obviously that like it goes in the themes of
Yeah,
trust and friendship in a lot of cool ways. Because like he's good in Dio, right? So like he's super ambitious. He wants to be a leader, but
and most
unlike
notably, like he
like yeah,
cares a lot about life. His power is control over life.
yeah, like Dio, like he got his flesh bud, so he could literally like mind control people and doing what he wants. But like Giorno can't do that with the animals he makes. Like when he turns the like I think the pipe into the snake to eat the bread, like it burns
Hmm.
itself, it fucks up, and it's like oh shit, I
Yeah,
should have done something. Like it was
or like one I really like that is just kind of major for Part Five's theming in general is when the frog gets hit. Giorno says, "I don't have any control over it. It's just defending itself as anything would."
yeah. I think, and like it's funny to see how he like takes advantage of that because like they can do things that like he doesn't have knowledge of, like when he sends like
Yeah.
the snake after Babyface or like
Yeah, yeah, dude, he was gambling. He's like, I really hope that. He had no idea how it
I
worked.
hope this pans out, and he'll never know if he got him or
He's like, if
not.
I
But
see another
yes, you
fucking
can.
baby face stand, I might die.
Well, yeah, there's pros and cons to the fact that he can't directly control them, and that's kind of
Yeah.
cool and fun. And then like
Yeah,
that's
because
kind of
it
like
shows
it,
like how he's gonna be a leader.
yeah, when that's how we see like every team up fight he has with like the others is that he does something to give them the opportunity to win, basically.
Yeah, and that's how he instills like trust in them. Is he
Yeah, he
because
sets
it
up the
shows
win
that
for him.
because it shows that he has absolute faith in them, even if he honestly really shouldn't. Like he does not know anything about Abakio other than Abakio tried to make him drink piss, and he's like, Abakio, I'm gonna turn into a balloon. Carry. And people always talk about how he's too quiet and reserved. It's more like okay, he is sometimes, but his internal monologue isn't. And the reason for that is because, as we saw early on, when he has no ties to Passione, he's a smug, loud, stupid teenager to Koichi and Bucciarati. But when he joins the gang, he can't do that because it's a secret.
Yeah, like right, he can't completely show them his true self because he's trying to earn their trust and just trying to be like a good lackey basically at first.
Yeah. Like it's kind of like I would say what it because he has to tell like two big lies. The first lie is his motivation, and that's like he is kind of like the secret like driving force because he and Bruno have the same plan, but no one knows it. And then Bruno dies, and he doesn't tell anyone, and that basically becomes his new secret. If he's secretly the leader now,
Yeah.
which he's not the leader, he is a corpse who is just hoping he doesn't fall apart. And then I also just like other reason it feels like a battle shonen with like good thematic fights is everyone gets a fight,
Oh
like a
yeah, that's
real
very
good
nice.
fight,
Yeah.
which is just nice. I it makes me happy.
Yeah. Another a couple things about Giorno. I like how like his gold experience like slows things down and punches him because like it shows that he has a
Yeah,
sadistic streak in him, which is just like more Dio. But like
yeah,
he's
yeah.
yeah.
Which I mean, you get that with actually Jotaro and Josuke too, but like, uh, no, I also like how because his whole thing is like he lives in the underworld like Dio and he has cruelty like Dio, but opposite of Dio, his powers are based around life. He's the life guy. He's a good, caring boss, and also he has like a very deep sense of justice. What's funny is if you pay attention, Bucciarati actually hates drugs more than Giorno does.
Yeah.
Because Giorno says, if you're an adult, I couldn't give less of a shit. But you're giving it to kids, whereas Bucciarati describes it as like that white greed that destroys everything. Bucciarati
My
hates
father
all things Giorno.
died because of them.
Yeah. Giorno's like, if you're an adult, do what you want. I don't care. Bucciarati's like, destroy it, burn it all.
Like the thing you said
I
about
love
like
this.
like the thing you said about like internal monologues and stuff like sometimes you don't even need that. Like I remember there's one line Trish has where it's like, I want to know who brought me into the world and what he's like, and then you just see
Yeah,
Giorno just looking and be like, yeah, he's thinking about that too. He has the
yeah,
picture of that mysterious man with the star tattoo in his wallet.
yeah. But then he doesn't talk to her about it because the difference is, while Trish gets an answer to that, Giorno just accepts that he doesn't need that because Giorno's whole thing is he's able to take fate into his hands. So he doesn't need to learn about his Joestar lineage, his Joestar fate, because through the power of the arrow and also his own actions and ambitions, he was able to reject the fate that was laid out for him and do what he fucking wants.
Yeah, it was also kind of
He's
like a
on,
nice
yeah,
like workaround,
yeah.
like
He's like,
like what are
you
you
keep
gonna
going.
say?
No, you keep going.
Like with the arrow fight, like he every team fight Drono got was he was setting the win for someone else.
Yeah,
Most of the time, the Green Day fight's not like that, but in
that's
the
like the one exception. Yeah.
yeah, but like in the Coliseum, like they set up the win for him by getting him the arrow, and I think that's cool.
Yeah, and I just like Giorno in general. Also, he's just funny.
I think like
Because
he was fun. He may have been funnier in the old translations, just because the old translations are notoriously janky. So you
oh,
get
that's one
lines.
thing we should probably address now. A lot of the internet's Part 5 hatred came from the fact that for a while, Part 5 was basically unreadable
I
online if you spoke
Yeah,
English.
I mean, we got some like iconic lines like "that's bullshit," but I believe it. But
Yeah.
for most part, like it was not as good as the other parts for some
It
reason.
was super fucking low res and the translations were all terrible. Like I remember one big one that people talked about is the Chocolata fight. People did not know what the fuck was going on with Bucciarati and Oasis until the anime or the color manga happened. They're like, dude, I don't fucking know what they're doing. I can't see.
Where are
uh,
they?
so, yeah, for a while, Part Five's hatred did just come from the fact that if you were an English speaker, there really wasn't a good way to read it. Which
Yeah.
is, it's big sad. It's also probably part of the reason Part Five's anime was such a big deal. Because even JoJo fans are like, this is like almost new to me.
uh,
um, what else do we talk about with Part Five? I really
I really
like.
like the lighter test with Pulpo because like he brings up
Oh, it's very fun.
like they speak a lot about trust in the early chapters, like, oh, I
Yeah,
want you to investigate this Yonosuke, can we trust him, Koichi? And then when he ends getting and he's like, oh, nothing is worth more in the world than trust, and that's why I'm gonna give you this test to see if you just can keep this lighter on for 24 hours.
hmm,
And then like it turns out that like people who fail to do that get stabbed by the arrow and are given a power, implying that
yeah,
a lot of people fail the test then lied about it to Pulpo's face. So like, does
yeah.
Pulpo really value honesty? It doesn't
Well,
seem
I
so.
actually think it actually goes into that more, where it shows what type of person you are. Because if the lighter goes out and you get killed and get a stand, i.e., what every member of Bujati's group did, what it means is that you are innately going to hold a secret. Because as it's addressed in the gang, no one knows each other's stands because that's a stupid thing to admit. So,
Yeah.
like, by getting a stand, you are already not trustworthy. Whereas if you don't get a stand, that means you're like the old janitor grandpa. You are actually loyal as fuck. You can be trusted to do the
Yeah.
dumb shit.
About that, my headcanon is that Mista was a stain user before he took the test, and he was just one of the ones diligent enough to get it done.
That's funny.
He just did the test and has no idea what's going on.
You say that, but I also feel like Mista is fucking stupid, and I do not believe he could keep that lighter on. I guess I could see him having hyper luck. I could see him hyper lucky. Like, it's not even hard for him. He just sits in his apartment with the
No,
lighter
literally,
on
I
and
just
goes and gives
imagined
it
like,
back.
I imagine he just
And he's
like
like,
puts
why
it on
was
the
that so
table,
easy?
just puts it on the table, like, you know, like watches TV for 24 hours, walks it back. It's like, wow, that's
It's like,
it.
that was stupid. There wasn't even a breeze today. I think it'd be really funny if Pol tries to do the lighter test and someone looks outside and says it's raining and he's like, dog, can I do this tomorrow? Like, that's not reasonable. It's very funny.
I really
I
like.
really like I really like that we finally have a cast where it's big and everyone's good.
Yeah, everyone is good. Bucciarati, I think, is really great for just like, you know, because obviously Giorno can't be like, you know, the guy everyone loves at first because he's supposed to be the
Yeah,
newbie. So Bucciarati's like, you know, just basically like the rock everyone leans and depends on, and you know,
yeah,
he brings so much warmth to the dynamic in a when Giorno can't like, you know, be too outward with his emotions at first.
yeah,
Yeah, so like I think that's really good. Like him and Narancia, I'd say, are the ones that like bring a lot of warmth to the group because they're all kind of assholes, but you know you get to
yeah.
like them when they interact with one another.
Yeah, because Narancia does it through like his immaturity, and Bucciarati does it through like
Being a den
his
mother.
momming.
Does anyone
I
have to go
like
on
him
the
a lot.
bathroom before we get on the train?
Yeah. No, I do like how he's barely older than all these people, but he has to act like he's twice their age.
He's just so dependable.
Yeah, and then Narancia's the opposite, where even though he is older than half of them, he acts like a fucking 8-year-old. Uh, I like all of their I like all their arcs in general.
Yeah, I like how Abacho is like, you know, like I kind of chooses like the perfect soldier that just kind of like looking for a place to die, basically to, you know, because he feels bad about like the stuff he's done up to this point.
Yeah,
Which is like basically the perfect soldier that the boss wants, like in his organization.
yeah,
Which is like great because when he like, you know, defies him at the end, you know, that's fun.
yeah. But that's also why he dies in the sense of like he can't be one of the people who defies fate because even when he rejects the boss, he just does it to follow a boss he likes more in Bucciarati. He doesn't have the fire in him to be one of the people who defies fate.
Yeah.
Narancia was just the sad victim. Like that was just because it was sad.
He was the child of the group, so of course he had to die.
Yes,
Get gutted.
it's like Iggy, like the dumb one. It was very mean.
So I
Um,
guess like there's only one member that we have major problems with, which is Fugo.
and like yeah, we know the story. Still bad.
Yeah, you know, like oh, you know, he was planning to make him come back as a villain, but you know, like Araki, you know, like felt like really sad when he was like, oh god, I have to do this. I can't do it, so he like backed out at the end,
Mhm.
which like all right, but I wish he didn't. I really wish he
Yeah.
didn't.
Like, we've heard the headcanons that, like, oh, it seems like the person who replaced him is Chocolata, because Chocolata, opposed to Fugo, who would have been really complex, is the embodiment of evil and also has a virus-based power.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like, obviously we don't know, but that's, like, a fun headcanon people have.
Like it's
Yeah,
weird.
it's just like,
It's
obviously it's really funny and, like, kind of, like, realistic that, like, one guy's just like, fuck this, I'm not going. But, like, from a writing perspective, it's not remotely satisfying.
Yeah, like, and the things they even set up, like, you know, some ways they could counter his ability, like, you know, when Giorno,
Yeah,
like,
with
you know, gets the
Giorno.
snake. So, like, it would have been fun if, like, okay, going to fight, I gotta separate them from Giorno. I gotta keep Giorno and his fucking snakes away from everyone else because he's the only one who can make an antidote for my power. Like, you know, that's kind of like a fun setup for a stand battle, I think. But, yeah, we didn't get it. And, you know, like, we get, like, a spin off novel, which is okay, and we'll talk about that a bit later, I
And, like,
guess.
yeah, because Fugo is definitely one of the, like, just, like, worst aspects in all of JoJo, because it's just,
So much
like,
missed opportunity.
it's very clearly a waste of a character for, like, literally, without, dude, if there was no explanation from Araki, I would genuinely never understand what the fuck happened there. Like,
Yeah. Like it's
I
one
would
thing
die
when
confused.
like it's one thing when something's just like uninteresting or like not good, and another thing when it's like undermining like the good parts of itself or just like missing potential like that.
And it's just, like, kind of baffling to a point.
Yeah. So you know what's
Um,
another very exciting thing about part 5?
what?
We got stand stats, baby! Stand
Those are
stats,
bad.
oh my god! Whoa, we
Those are
can put
bad.
our scouters on and objectively
We should.
quantify how.
What's funny is I don't even like these. I prefer the databook stand stats, the one that give Golden Experience Requiem like ease and everything. That's my favorite. I like those ones more.
E and everything
uh,
is great because, like, oh, it's 0. It has 0 speed.
because it's it's bad. The stand stats are bad. They don't make sense. Everyone knows this,
I
and they're
think,
also
like,
just like arbitrary. Like as you and I talked about, it's like, what does power mean? What
right.
does staying? Because like yeah, with power, it's like okay, Bucciarati could technically ignore your guard. So is that being
Yeah, like,
addressed in the
he can't,
power?
like, punch as hard as Star Platinum or, like, like, shoot lasers like the sun or anything,
Like
but, like,
he does
he can.
punch pretty hard. So does he punch hard enough, or is it the
Yeah.
zippers?
Or is it just like, oh, the zipper can cut anything if you unzip the thing, so he has A in
Yeah,
power? Well, because you can
and
unzip anything, so, yeah,
and then
okay.
like staying power is weird because it's like there's two types of staying power in a stand. There's something like Black Sabbath where it literally has staying power. Like if you hit it enough times, it will disappear, and then Polpo's fine. But then you also have like close combat stands where staying power is like durability. Like
Yeah.
literally how many hits you take before your owner die.
Yeah, no, the thing is, like, so many of them get, like, an A, and I'm just like, so wait, would that mean it's, like, on the same, like, in the same ballpark as, like, sheer heart attack? Because, like, sheer heart attack was really durable, like, really super durable, and so many things get an A, and it's like, why are you getting an A? Like, why does Kiss get
It's
an A? Why does,
stand stats are bad and weird. Everyone knows
you know,
it.
like, I'm left with more questions than answers, which is, like, something that I feel like it's not supposed to happen with something like
No,
this.
those are bad. I guess the only other critique I have for part five before we get to funny haha plot holes is I wish Trish got like a little more.
Trish, from part 6.
No, Trish.
Oh, sorry, yeah, oh, yeah, Trish, yeah.
I would have liked if Trish got a little more.
I was getting Trish and Hermes mixed up for some reason. I don't know why.
Because they're pink. No,
No,
Hermes isn't
no,
pink. The
Hermes
other one
isn't
is.
pink. I was
I'm
just
bad
being
with part.
stupid. I was just
Yeah.
being stupid.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, Trish is what are you doing? Trish is good, but I would have liked a little more.
You know, maybe they should have had her, like, like, unlock her stand a bit earlier, or at
Or
least,
just
like,
have
hint at it.
give
Like,
her
like, maybe, like,
yeah,
she does, like, before, like, the punching ghost appears, you have her turn something soft in the middle of someone else's fight, and it's like,
or
whoa.
or or more of a or maybe just more of an exploration of her power in relation to Diavolo's. Because everyone is like, we can't see your stand. It'll give us a hint at Diavolo's. No, it doesn't.
No, it really doesn't.
I would have liked if there was some type of similarity there that is like obviously you could bullshit something, but like that is actually pointed out and drawn upon. I would have liked that.
Yeah, or at the very least, like, something about her stand or its ability, like, helps them fight Diavolo, because, like, she was kind of useless in the final fight, which, like,
Yeah, kind of
doesn't.
sucks.
Yeah, I know, because, like, the whole, like, this whole, like, conflict is based on I need to kill my daughter because she's my greatest weakness. So, then
Now,
you
see,
don't.
dude, here's how Trish kills Diavolo. She makes the amount of floor that is soft long enough that he can't get out of it in 10 seconds.
No, dude.
Then he trips.
What if
And she's
she
like,
make?
oh, his ass.
No, dude. What if she makes time so soft that he can't break it anymore? Well,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
I
break
think
the
that.
time. I can't break the time. It's absorbing my punches.
Oh, and then the other thing people always bring up of Silver Chariot, and people are like, oh, why didn't he ask for Jotaro's help? A nice interpretation. He doesn't want Jotaro to die. That's
I
my
th-
nice interpretation.
I thought, like, he literally couldn't get to a payphone without Diavolo knowing. I thought that was what was going
They
on.
said that, but also it's been so many years. How the hell can he not get a phone? He's literally able to track laptop data to see when people look up Diavolo's criminal record. Surely he could email the Speedwagon Association.
Yeah.
Uh, so, real answer, it's kind of awkward and it wasn't thought through that well. Cope answer, he doesn't want Diavolo to obliterate Jotaro.
It's like he sat down, like, read a physics book, was like, I don't think stopping time will win this one.
Okay, so
I
he's like, all right, wait, so he can erase time, and I'm pretty sure he has precog, meaning he could just precog the seconds when Jotaro stops time and erase those. So I do think Jotaro would lose, based on my calculation.
but then again, he had the arrow, so it was like, well, I get if anyone could use it, it would be Jotaro, right?
I guess, like, it would just have to be he doesn't want to risk his friend is the nice interpretation.
Yeah,
It is a little awkward though. And then we have
the big
the
bad.
Iraqi Forgottis.
No, I thought we were
Oh no,
gonna
we can
talk
do
about
Diavolo first.
the big
I love
bad.
Diavolo.
Diavolo, I think gets too much shit. Honestly,
I like him a lot. I think he's
he's
I don't
pretty
like him as
good.
much as Kira because Kira's got that charisma, but
Yeah.
he's probably I still like him a lot.
Yeah, I think he's kind of an unfortunate victim of, like, obviously has to be like a big mysterious guy, so they give you almost
Mhm.
nothing for most of the part 5. But then at the very
Yeah.
end, when he starts like finally doing stuff, like he gets 3 fights, and the third one is kind of like wonky and dominated by like, like trying to figure out all these like already a lot of people are struggling to understand what his ability did, and then on top of that you have
Mhm.
Silver Chariot Requiem. And like when you get those two things together, it's just like it could distract you as you're reading the
Yeah.
fight, I think, when there's just so much going on.
It could. Whereas I do like because Diavolo addresses the themes really well of how Diavolo, despite his adherence of like completely deleting your past to control your fate, he won't because we saw what young Diavolo looked like and it's just Doppio.
Yeah.
Diavolo has literally Diavolo's alternate persona is literally just young dumb him.
Yeah, and like
Probably
his whole
dumber than he originally was.
yeah, and his whole thing about like I can't trust anyone, no one can have my identity, and like the only person he trusts is literally his other personality, which I think implies on some level he wants to trust other people. And he kind of enjoys like being a subordinate with a big a reliable boss looking out for him, but he also can't trust anyone to do that for him, so he plays both roles himself.
Right. Uh, and then minor
Obviously,
funny
like with the
thing
whole
again.
like the
What
whole
do you
thing
think
about
about?
rejecting destiny, like obviously Diavolo literally embodies that, where it's like I can see the future, it's set in stone, and only I can change it. And then like he sees Gold Experience Requiem and was like, fuck, well, I guess he can change it too.
Yeah. And the other thing, because like yeah, cool experience record is like there's a truth beyond just understanding what's going to happen, and that's what breaks Diavolo. And also, what's funny is two Diavolo things that are funny. One, the JoJo bloodline compass thing, where you can just sense people in the vicinity if you are direct blood related to them. That's funny.
It is very
Why?
funny.
Why is that a thing you can do? That's so fucking like they
Because
act
it's
like it's like a given too. Like no one's surprised. Like, dude, of course Trish can sense him. They're flesh and blood. It's like, wait a fucking
wait.
minute.
So in part 2, when Joseph was meeting Lisa for the first time, he's like, "Whoa, that's my mom. I can
No,
sense
no, no,
it."
no. Joseph is too stupid. No, the hormone blocks it.
The hormone
She's
blocks
blocking it
it.
with hormone, dude, because she was using special hormone breathing, so her blood was acting weird, and he couldn't tell it was his blood. um, it's weird that they're like, dude, they're flesh and blood. Of course they can sense each other. It's like, no, you can't. What are you talking about?
And it's like weird. It's like this one that like kind of fits, but really doesn't. Is like Hermit Purple in part 3, where it's like, oh, they could Dio can sense the Joestars and they could sense him, but like it was supposed to be like through Hermit Purple they can do it, and
But now it's
and
but
Dio
now it
had
just
something
seems like it's
similar to
because they're
Hermit Purple,
related.
but now it's just like, oh, like that's Jonathan's fucking blood and dick over there and his balls, and I could sense
Mhm.
that his DNA is there. I could sense it.
It's odd. It's an odd choice. Because the fact that no one acts surprised implies this is just a normal thing in the JoJo universe.
Like, is there
Oh,
ever
oh, oh.
like a scene like when like Josuke is looking for his mom's, like, hold on, and then he like closes his eyes and be like, oh, she's at the shopping center. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's pretty funny. Um, Other funny Diavolo thing. Uh, People are like, dude, he is not bad enough for the punishment he got, and it's like, actually, I think if you think about like it systemically, he's probably killed more people. He's probably responsible for more death and pain than Dio. So,
Well, I mean, he was literally like making his organization push drugs onto children, which is shitty and terrible and
but
god
also
awful.
just look at how evil every member of his organization is. Dude, look what Chocolata did to fucking Greece or Rome. Rome.
Uh,
Look what he did to Rome. A lot of people that got fucked up.
all right,
This-
Shiki. Before we move on from Diavolo, I want to
Mhm.
ask you, can you in words explain his power to the audience?
Yes, I'm great at it. So Diavolo's power is actually twofold. First, he can precog. What a go!
Yeah,
He can
yeah,
see the
yeah.
future. So you can precog 10 seconds into the future, and then in those 10 seconds, anything that happens that he doesn't like, he can delete. For example, if you're going to stub your toe, he can delete that part, and now your toe is not stubbed. Or, here's an example of what he actually did. He's going to get shot in the face, but he doesn't want to. But when he gets shot in the face, the guy behind him is also going to get shot in the face. So he'll delete the instance where the bullets go through him, but keep the instance where the bullets hit the other guy.
Yeah,
it's
the
it
thing is, like, I remember
I
there's just, in the old translations, there was some like really long text explanation at the end of the chapters that like was not good, and I can't find it anywhere. If anyone has it, please send it to me, because like I tried looking for it, I can't find it. But like it confused the heck out of me when I was in like high school when I was
oh yeah,
reading through the first time.
the bad scans again are part of the reason King Crimson doesn't make sense, doesn't help.
Yeah, and basically
Also,
like
I
the
think erasing time just sounds more confusing than it is.
yeah, and, like the way like when I finally got a grasp on it, like a bit after I finished part 5 for the first time, I was like, okay, he can see the future and just makes himself invincible for certain seconds of time. That's basically it. It's basically, and everyone else blacks out too. That's
Yeah,
basically
the
it.
blackout thing is also important because like that's how he was able to like kill Narancia.
Yeah,
It's neat. It's not that hard to understand, but it is neat. Um,
yeah.
also we didn't talk about Mista. Mista's just a bro goat
Oh
man,
my
and
god,
I
he's
love him.
great. He gets. I love the running gag of him getting shot by his own bullets, like
He definitely
every
gets
single
shot.
fight.
I remember I took screenshots of every time he got shot compared to every time he fired a bullet, and I feel like that's gonna be funny to go through.
Do you have a count?
Here, let me count. Yeah, all right. In his first fight, he hits the other guy a lot actually because the guy can stop bullets.
Yeah.
So he hits him one, two, three, four, five, six. Oh my goodness. Is it six times? He hits him six times, and he only gets shot uh once. That's
Oh,
not bad.
yeah, that's pretty good. We're 5 up.
But then the pesky fight happens, and
Oh
he
no.
shoots himself. I'm gonna count him shooting the fishing line. One, two. Oh, it says he shot himself in the hand twice. Three. One, two, three, and then three more from when he gets shot in the head three times and lives, which is bullshit. That's six. That's 6-0.
Oh no. Oh no. He
And
already
then we have
lost the lead.
oh no, and then we have the funniest one, which is the White Album fight. Also, there's the one where six people shoot at him and he never gets shot, so that one's pretty good in his flashback. All right, White Album. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven.
I'm gonna
uh,
need you to send me all
8,
these
9,
pictures just
10,
so I could
11,
put them on
12.
screen here.
Yeah. 13. 13 times against White Album.
Oh no. Does he hit?
It
Does he
never
hit
lands a
even?
real. It never lands a real hit.
So he's
Oh.
down 13.
Ooh, that's a bad. That's a
Oh
bad
no, it's
one.
not looking good.
All right, then we have then we have his brief scuffle with Oasis, where he shoots three bullets and all three get shot back at him. Good job, Mista. But then, don't worry, he lands a mighty one on Chocolata, even though he's not there. All right, and then in the epilogue, he shoots a guy in the hand twice.
Nice.
Good job, Mista. You fucking clown. He's so no, he is kind of just like the dopey like gung ho one of the group, and that's kind of his place.
Yeah.
I like him.
But dude, you want to know what's another thing Araki forgot?
What?
Forgot about the mirror world. There's no such thing as a mirror world. Why is there a mirror world now? What's
Was
going
that in
on?
our translation of part 3? Because I didn't
Yeah,
see it.
I remember Kakyoin said, I have no idea if you're talking about the mirror world. Mirror worlds don't exist, Polnareff. What the fuck are you talking
Okay,
about?
I guess. Wow, I can't believe Kakyoin was wrong.
I can't believe two stand abilities are completely different despite both being based around mirrors. Wow. What are
Yeah.
the
Anyway,
odds?
things are rocky. Actually, forgot about part 5. One is like pseudo forgot, more so star fingered, which is damage reflection. Because it's like it makes sense because there's no fight where he absolutely should have used it and didn't. But also, what if Giorno wore a colony of ants under his shirt? Boy, that sure would be helpful. Uh, it's like obviously we had to stop incorporating it because fights are just too fucking easy. Like, dude, Peshki had damage reflection on just his line. If you could just make anything that goes that's in the vicinity that's alive damage reflect, that's some bullshit. Similar to that, we kind of had to nerf Bucciarati too, because early on, I don't know if you remember, Puff, he could hide inside of people by making a pocket dimension on their back.
Yeah.
And that's stupid. Dude, that's how they jump the boss. They zip open Trish and shove the whole gang in there.
Also, another weird thing about damage reflection is that like it's kind of awkward to imagine in a fight with Diavolo, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna use future, see the future. Okay, I punch Giorno, cool, and I get hurt. Well, my future says I have to do it, but like if I erase that time, I don't hit him either. So I can't decide to just
I guess I'll just
hit him.
erase everything.
Yeah, it's like you can't like, okay, I'm gonna decide to punch him in the rib cage instead of like on his chest. He can't just decide that because it has to be set in stone. He says that
He's like, what the
himself.
hell is going on? He rips his clothes off. He's like, ants! Why is he covered in ants? What does that even mean? uh, and then we have like the actual one that I'm gonna call Paul. Oh, before that, cool thing. Similar to how Jotaro learned he could stop time when he saw Dio do it, and as we heard from the old lady, stopping time requires you to believe you can. Giorno's stand just evolves because he sees a guy do something similar to his, and he's like, I bet I could do that with my power. Because the two ways stands evolve are either you open your worldview, i.e., Jotaro or Giorno, or you have an extreme growth in character, i.e., Koichi. Those are the main two. Anyway, now
Dude,
the
dude,
big
dude, dude.
one
I forgot
is
about my favorite stand stat.
okay. What is
It's Koichi's Echoes Act 3. Do you remember what its potential is?
no? Isn't it hot? Isn't it high enough
It's
that it implies he
B.
evolved
It
it?
has a B in potential. Now, assuming that the fucking egg was an A tier, that means that it got 1, 2, 3 acts and was only set down to B tier, which means we still have C, D, and E, and F left, meaning that there are 12 more acts to Echoes that Koichi can unlock.
I love that theory. The now for the one that pissed me off of like the closest like this is the only time I got nearly as angry as I did at like Polnareff saying his wounds weren't bad was when Bucciarati and Giorno are like, oh, without Giorno's arms he can't instill life. It's like that's a lie. You're lying.
What? What do you mean? Well, he's never done it with his feet. Never.
He turned the light preserver into a fish.
No, Gold Experience did that with
And
his
it's kind of
fingers.
and I feel like based on the positions of his feet during the Black Sabbath fight, his feet are probably what touch the roots.
No, Gold Experience was using his hands off
Oh,
panel. You
also,
just didn't
wait a
see
minute.
him.
Bigger question. If instilling life doesn't work with his feet, why does Giorno kick people all the time? Doesn't that mean he's not getting the slowdown effect?
He has to kick him when he can, right? You know, if he can't punch him, we'll try kicking him. It's just what he
No, he'll
does.
just kick them when he could punch them. uh, bullshit, stupid. Just have him get passed out and knock him out. Also, have him lose like an important organ for all I care. Oh, that's too intense. No, it's not. Bucciarati stopped his heart for what in the manga felt like 3 minutes. So shut up.
No, dude, JoJo characters are light speed, and they were fighting at light speed, which means that it was only like 2.5 seconds, that whole sequence.
How do you slowly check something at light speed? Also, they're light speed. Why are they riding a fucking train?
No, their stands are light speed, but they're like not. So like they have to walk at normal speeds.
Uh-huh. Haha, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. In that case, why did Babyface need a motorcycle? Shouldn't he just have run?
No, okay, listen, just because you can move at light speed doesn't mean it's fun, okay? It's very tiring.
But
It
it's
tuckers you
but
out.
Babyface isn't having fun. Babyface is here to kill. Anyway,
One thing I always thought was funny about the Lightspeed stands thing is just like, okay, so does that mean that, like, we know stands can carry you, right? Like, usually. So like,
kind of.
can Star Platinum not just like lift Johto up like by his shoulders and then just like fly him around? Like, cause he did fly around in the Dio fight. Was that what was happening?
Well, to be fair, in the anime he was flying. In the manga, I think it's implied that he was just jumping.
Okay, he was jumping real good, I guess.
It was like Goku's second tournament of power jumping. uh, what else is there for part 5? I don't think I have anything else specific. Just it's a good part with good fights. Oh, speaking of gay, I love the gay rooftop boys. They're iconic. I love
Yeah.
them so much. I love my gay rooftop boys. What's funny is like people point out no one is not that the none of the main cast are explicitly gay, but also I don't care how explicit it is. If you think Abakio doesn't want to suck Bucciarati's dick, you're a liar. you're a filthy fucking liar.
Well, no, he was just a depressed straight guy who, like really likes this gay man a whole lot.
Listen here. The only thing I've seen recently that's gayer than Part 5 is the final villain in Digimon Adventure 02. So, shut up.
The only
That
thing
guy's gay.
I've seen is the second boss in Persona. Well, I guess third boss in Persona 4.
Yo, my goat man. Yeah, you say that like the first one wasn't already given some fucking sign.
Wait, what do you mean the first
uh,
one? You mean Yosuke's?
no, not Yo. Yosuke's not a boss. He's a tutorial.
Yeah, that's why I meant like second or
Yuki.
or
Oh,
third
okay.
because
No,
that goes.
Yukio. No, Yukiko's the first boss.
Yeah, okay. Then second boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, so back to that.
He's gonna be the background footage for this video, by the way.
Good, he's goaded. Back to Persona. Back to not Persona. Back to Part 5. What else? I think that's kind of it. I like it. It's all very. It's all just like pretty good.
Yeah, I think
Like it
it's
was
the
the
most
first
solid
fight. It
part.
was the first part that I got to that felt like what I was being sold when people described JoJo to me. It's gay. It's got cool powers. It's got fun fights. It's got a cool adventure. Like that was the first time I felt like I was getting everything I was promised.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing about Diavolo that I think is very fun. In part
Mhm.
2, Caesar said that Italians care about family a whole lot. They just do. And then you get Diavolo who's like, "Oh, fuck my daughter."
Well, I mean, he cares. He also killed his mom.
He stuffed her under the bed. All right,
I
so
think that's Purple
yeah.
Haze feedback time.
All right,
Uh,
so the a payoff for Fugo's character, that's something I wanted, and I
Now,
think it was a
admittedly,
decent novel.
the pros are probably not great from the. I read it on fucking Internet Archive. I don't think I was reading a great translation,
Yeah.
but it's fine. I like what it goes for. I like how because it does what you want. It addresses Fugo's anger and his difficulty having loyalty, and then the epilogue also addresses the fact that Giorno lies to people all the time. So like, I got that at least.
Yeah. One thing I liked about the book is that it felt like the author was putting his own JoJo analysis within the book. Like, stands that are like have like multiple parts, like let's say Harvest from part 4. That I just heard this guy in this little Moria town had a stand called Harvest, which is kind of similar to mine. And I think that stands that are in little parts like this imply this and this and this about a character. And it's like, okay, that's a nice JoJo analysis, man. That's a nice JoJo analysis.
Purple Haze feedback is like it's nice, but it's just a substitute for the fact that we didn't get what we were supposed to get.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh no, I have to stall for time. So anyway, please tell us in the comments section, everyone. Who do you think is gayer, Jolyne Cujo or Giorno Giovanna? It's very important that you comment. Also, happy Halloween, everyone. Happy Harvest and all that jazz. I'll tell Shiki to say happy Halloween when he comes back. You're gonna hear it. Trust me. I promise you. I'm promising right now. One funny thing, this was one of the author notes for part 5, was that Araki said that like like he couldn't he was gonna name like like Giorno like JoJo or something or other, but then he couldn't because the J sound isn't in the Italian language, so he had to go for a G. So he ends up with Giorno Giovanna, and if you say it fast enough and in the right way, you could get something similar to JoJo, like like Giovanna, Gia, Jo, Jojo, JoJo, JoJo. JoJo. You just gotta slur it and say it fast enough, and then maybe you can bullshit it, which is just a funny thing. I guess it really does fit unironically, just because Giorno is like just such a weirdo compared to all the other protagonists. He's fucking love baby between Dio and Jonathan.
We're back.
Shiki, I promised everyone that you would say Happy Halloween when you got back, so say it.
It's a day late, but happy Halloween.
It's gonna be like 2 days late when this video comes out.
Hey, fucking, it's a day late for me, and that's the only thing that matters. Anyway, part 6.
Ooh.
I think Jolyne is my personal favorite JoJo.
She's probably one of the best ones we've had so far. I think Joseph's really funny, but I don't think he's as compelling as the ones that come later.
I think she's also really funny.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think she's the funniest one so
No,
far.
that's why I think that's why she's my favorite. It's because I think she's the funniest one. Jolyne's really fucking funny.
I think it really was like an intentional choice for the first scene. It's like, oh, this is JoJo's gonna be a girl. Rocky doesn't have the best reputation for writing characters like that. And then she's like being like, God damn it, the security guard saw me jacking off. Oh shit, my life's over.
She's so funny. Jolyne is a very fucking. I think she's easily the funniest JoJo character. JoJo MC. She's such a fucking goofball. Also, we're back to JoJo's being called JoJo. We had a 2-part break.
Oh yeah, no, I talked about that a little bit, like when you were gone, about Giorno and how like one of the author notes said like, yeah, okay, I was gonna call Giorno like JoJo something, but like J doesn't exist in the Italian language, so he had to go for a G instead.
I wish someone called him like JoJo, like at least once.
You gotta just say it like fast enough and slur it enough, like JoJo.
And then, unfortunately, Josuke's just never called it. I still stand by it would have been funny if Jotaro tried to, like, pass it on to Josuke. He's like, I'm too old for this.
No, dude, Hayato said it. He stuttered and said, Josuke!
That doesn't count.
Josuke!
I would have liked if Jotaro tried to pass on it, but we're back to it just being a nickname. Let's go!
Yeah, Jolyne Kujo. Just the beginning and end of her name.
Yeah, it's just the same as Jotaro. I think, like, we'll get to it later, but just to spoil, part 6 probably has, the most solid ending out of any JoJo part, because it tried to. I really like a lot of fights in these. Some of them almost feel reminiscent of, like, hormone battles. Like, they almost feel like if hormone battles weren't fucking stupid. If that makes sense.
I guess, like it's kind of
Jolyne
like...
walked on her net. I was like, I feel like a dumber version of this would have happened if we kept Homo.
Yeah, it's just like, like the strings is like, it's a simple base power that can just do 1,000 things, because that's what fucking string does. It's super versatile as fuck. So it's like, I think Stone Free is probably like the best protagonist stand we've had so far.
I really like it.
Yeah. Because, like, it has like both like different uses
stand in terms of giving us good fights.
Yeah, because like it has like good like long range things that you can do at long range, but it can only be powerful at short range. So it gives her more versatility. Like obviously just the strings is,
well,
and also
just to put it simply, the first 3 are too strong for good one-on-ones.
Yeah, Star Platinum just like fucking beats the shit out of anything that's in its way. It could just power through most fights.
Crazy Diamond, in terms of offense, is just a slightly weaker Star Platinum. And then Golden Experience hits weaker, but also has the dumbest hacks on the fucking planet.
Yeah, you want to bring up like what happens at the end, it gets really dumb.
Yeah, so
Also, I
I
think
think
my
she has the
favorite
best
thing.
stand in terms of giving the MC fights.
Yeah. Also, I this is something that I forgot about, but it's my favorite part about her stand is how she can fucking spaghetti herself and
I
just
love
literally
it. It's
becomes.
so silly.
It's so like nasty, man. She just becomes
It's
a
so
plate of
silly and
spaghetti.
goofy.
When she
I
hid
love it.
all of herself inside of Hermes' mouth, it's she can go that
Yeah,
far.
right. And
She's
then
actually
what's
like
funny
a
is
fucking
actually
monster or something.
it's awesome. Also, like similar to part five, smaller cast here, but also they get so many fights. I forgot how many fucking fights Foo Fighter gets. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't remember getting a whole because I remember I remembered like I had the impression that like she died fairly soon after being introduced, which like wasn't really true.
It's like you oh that yeah, because the thing, right.
Yeah.
I forgot how many fucking fights Foo Fighter gets. uh and then I like how early on it's like, oh, dude, look at this takedown of the criminal justice system. It points out how bail's a not bail, plea deal's a fucking scam, and then the reveal is no, it was Poochie.
It was Poochie all along. Oh,
No, it does like actually like it's funny. It has like an undertone of like I would call real systemic issues, opposed to Part Five, where their police are the most comedically corrupt institution I've seen. In this, you have real things like uh, plea deals are a sham, lawyers are not trustworthy, prisons are hyper abusive, hate crime flashback, stuff like that.
yeah,
Or it's like it feels like it does have that undertone, which makes sense because of what happens at the end.
yeah.
Like it's showing all of the ways this world is not ideal and kind of like corrupt intrinsically, without coming up with a social solution, coming up with a purely magical solution.
I obviously like if I had to explain like the theme of part six, it would be like you can only break free from destiny if you fight it head on, or
Yeah,
if you face it head on, and like the first half of the story taking place in a prison is obviously no coincidence.
yeah, and then like the yeah, like I know like people like saying it's about breaking free from the shackles of fate, and then like the past is also a very big deal because similar to part five because these two actually have very similar themes and similar to because just like a JoJo thing of like your past is very intrinsic in your fate and your destiny, so it's like characters' past and how they want to deal with it is also like hyper intrinsic to this part too.
Yeah, I think the parts that have like the most synergy thematically are 5 and 6, and then like 7 and 8. Hopefully, I don't remember part 8 too well, but I think that's true.
One stupid joke I always think of is the sons of Dio, and then we just run into Giorno. Like he's not part of it, but somehow through hunting down sons of Dio, we just run into Giorno, and he's like, "What the fuck do you want?"
The thing is, I think having Giorno and maybe Josuke show up at the end of part 6 would have been like amazing fan service, but also, then
Yeah.
it's like, how did they not immediately win now that Giorno's there?
So yeah, Giorno's too strong to get near Poochie because then Poochie's plan insta fails.
Yeah.
I think, although like I think the obvious fan service answer that I would have liked is when we see the new world, we get to see the happy lives of all the protagonists.
Yeah.
Like I think that is just like ideal because it's like, oh, dude, it's the big love letter to everything so far. It's a universe soft reset. Let me see what's the happy things everyone else is doing.
You know what's a totally fun interaction that Josuke and Giorno could have?
What?
Giorno heals his wounds.
Dude, they heal each other's wounds, and Josuke is, and Jordan's like, "That was so fast," and Josuke's like, "That was so fucking weird."
They're just an unstoppable tag team.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
And then also other joke that I'm uncreative. Everyone's made this joke before me, but I don't care. It's always funny. Poochie says, "I'm accelerating infinitely. I'm infinitely fast," and then Notorious B.I.G. eats him.
No, 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 Shiki. Shiki, that wouldn't make sense because it's about time moving forward. His literal speed stays the same, meaning Notorious B.I.G. wouldn't even register him as the fastest thing in the room.
I think it would be funnier if, because of hyperacceleration and everything moving really quick and Poochie moving the fastest, just out of everything on Earth, period, Notorious B.I.G. is like, well, I'm going there.
I guess like to step back to like the first half of the
Yeah.
manga. Uh,
Real thing.
Stone Ocean, or Stone Free being called Stone Ocean in the translation I read is like the most blatant loss of symbolism. Like
Eh,
in any of the translations I read, it's like, could you not just call it s- blue free or something like that? Anything that doesn't, because like Stone
there's
Ocean
other words for
literally,
freedom.
but like literally like in the chapter she like
Dude, they should
gets.
have called it rock free. Should have called it rock free.
No, the thing is, like, literally in the chapter that Jolyne names it, it's like, I'm going to escape this stone ocean with this ability. It's like, oh yeah, that's why you call it stone free, because you're gonna escape the stone. Oh, no, no,
But
no,
now it's
no! It's the
stone.
stone ocean's gonna bust out of the stone ocean. Okay, cool.
It's yeah, and now it's stupid. Oh, tying back in like past theming, White Album. Not White Album. What's his fucking name? Weather Report. Stupid.
Yeah.
White Snake. White Snake and his white albums. Fuck JoJo and its stupid names. uh, no, I do think that it does a good job at having a really small cast to all get fights. I think it just does that well in general.
Yeah. I remember.
Like everyone's very fleshed out. I just like it in general.
Yeah, I remember. I think we got a comment saying that, like, like there wasn't enough time to establish, like, the main characters as like a real friend group, which I
Mhm.
like. Obviously, that's the case for like Weather and Anasui or Anastasia, whatever the fuck his name is.
Anasui is how I know
Anasui,
it.
yeah, Anasui. But like, I think the main three they got it, and even if like one fight in particular is doing a lot of heavy lifting,
Mhm.
I like the fight so much that I just let it happen, which is the
Well,
one where they
also
play
just like
catch.
Jolene and Hermes being friends is like no shit.
Yeah,
Like
like
that,
yeah.
I feel like they set that up pretty easily.
Yeah, but like the one where they play catch, I think is like definitely one of the best fights because I think it takes fun
It's a very
advantage.
funny
It takes fun
fight.
advantage of the setting while also just being an unconventional battle and also having all the three main characters like
Mhm.
grow a bond at the same time. I think it's really effective and cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
What else? I think it's funny how kind of schmucky the Sons of Dio are.
Yeah, you think like the last son of Dio was Giorno Giovanna,
It
and
was a
then
pretty
you get.
fucking big deal.
Yeah, and then you get the one druggie, which is like, all right, I get that. That's like supposed to be like a stand-in for Dio's dad, or like a parallel to Dio's dad. So just a complete scumbag. That makes sense. I get that. Uh, the cow guy, whose name I'm forgetting, but I keep calling him the cow guy because he had a cow
Just call him the
print.
cow guy. It's a good name.
Yeah, so cow guy, which like seemed to be like Dio's like need for like advancement and evolution and stuff like that. Which like that's a neat connection, but also that's kind of the only connection I see him having with Dio. So like, I thought he was the most underwhelming one of the three, honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah, and then the last guy whose name I'm forgetting still, but his stand was called.
Here's why we can't remember anything's name. It's because we didn't watch the anime. That's why we can't remember the name of
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, because like I'm getting mixed up with the old translations with the like the real stand names, all the actual names, and then the ones that are in this translation, which like couldn't be the same for whatever reason,
Yeah, because
Anasway,
literally
Anastasia,
the
what the fuck.
balance is you need to read the localization scans because even though the names are stupid, they're so much higher res and the color chapters are the right color.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a not an ideal situation.
It's a little messy, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
What else do I think about part six?
Uh, is Jotaro a bad dad?
He's not a good dad, but
I think it kind of like feeds into the you could only like escape destiny if you face it head on. Like Jotaro like never was a real father, so that ended up going wrong for both him and
Mhm.
Jolyne. And then Jolyne had to face the fact that like she didn't grow up without a dad, and she has to like accept that before she can move on.
I think it's also kind of interesting that like this is like I would say Jotaro's first major character flaw is that he's kind of a bad dad, and it's interesting where it's like all right he grew up not really having a dad, and because his dad was like I think off on a business trip 24/7, and then his grandpa figure is a fucking piece of shit when it comes to family dynamics. So it's kind of interesting that this then leads to him kind of being a bad dad because it's kind of the joke I made with like Naruto where it's like he almost doesn't know what being a dad is.
Yeah, I mean, like they imply that like, he like he was so absent because he didn't want us getting wrapped up in all the stand battle bullshit. Oh,
Mhm.
which like I don't buy completely just because like it's not like he's like a superhero with a hidden identity. He could come
Well,
home every
well,
now and again and take some
now
time
see,
out,
here's
can
the
he?
real headcanon. It's because Jotaro hates women, and he hates his wife because she's a
Right.
woman.
He because he the Joestar bloodline. This is the curse of the Joestar bloodline. You're born a gay man who has to fall in love and have sex with a woman once. You just have to. The author's hand will force you, just so the manga
Dude,
keep
3
churning
years
on.
after Jolene's born, he snaps out of it, and he's like, "I hate women."
Ew.
I'm
Like no,
Jotaro Kujo.
I'm just imagining he's holding Jolene in his arms, like wait, ew, and then he just drops her, walks
Not even
away.
that. No, I just imagine like one morning he just hears his wife yell like, "Can you grab the paper?" And he like clenches his fists. He's like, "Why am I here?"
What have I done?
uh, I like that it's like his first like significant notable character flaw. It's because like the Joestar. I do like how the Joestar family in general, despite being basically the most famous lineage in anime manga after the Sun family, uh, he's kind of terrible at being a family.
Yeah, Jonathan couldn't be a father to his kid because he fucking died. That kid couldn't be a father to Joseph because he
Because he
fucking
fucking died.
died. Joseph couldn't
Is
raise
an
Josuke
asshole.
properly. I assume that like he was good to Suzy Q, but Josuke got the short end of the stick there. And then you get JoJo and Jolyne, which is far from an ideal. It's just not great when you look at it.
And even with Joseph's daughter, he famously hates her husband so much that he became racist.
he he was best friends with a Nazi back in the day, but he can't stand the Japanese.
No, no, I love, dude. Imagine explaining Joseph to someone like he's a real guy. He's like, all right. So growing up as a teenager, he saved a black kid from a cop in New York, and that kid became one of his best friends. His other best friend was an Italian during World War II who was friends with Nazis. One of his greatest allies was a Nazi, and also he hates the Japanese. You're like, all right, hold the. Also, he married an Italian. You're like, all right, hold the fucking phone. None of this makes sense. Nothing you said to me makes sense.
It's quite bizarre.
It's truly baffling.
uh, so, dude, do you love Poochie as much as I do?
I like Poochie. Poochie is the best JoJo villain. I
Uh,
firmly believe that.
Kira's my favorite, but Poochie is a really close second so far of the parts
Nice.
we've
You know,
reread.
I think Poochie just is my favorite JoJo villain
Poochie's
out of
really
everything
good.
we've read so far because the mega part is coming. The part that's everyone's favorite for fucking everything is next.
Yeah, that's the one where I'm like, okay, he might be the best. Maybe we'll
Because
see.
well, he's definitely has the best design out of any JoJo villain. That's without debate. You've seen him. uh,
So,
what
one
else did I
funny
say?
thing about Poochie is that, like, first with his stand name, White Snake. I assumed immediately, oh, I know White Snake. They're that Christian band, rock band. So obviously, like,
Mhm.
like I'm pretty sure they named themselves that because, like, like Snake is like the devil, but like White's
Yeah.
purity. So like, oh, they're like a pure devil, a white
Mhm.
snake. So that's
Mhm.
probably why, like that's probably the inspiration behind Poochie's stand name too. He's a fallen priest. Someone who was seduced by
Yeah.
the devil and all that. But then I was like, I gotta look up to be sure because I'm gonna say this in a video. And then I read, oh, white snake is just a euphemism for penis.
That's even better. That's even better. That's so good.
Poochie walking around with his white penis stand. Dio's
All
influence
right,
is truly on display.
what?
I do think that's like another thing Whitesnake does. Like Whitesnake's probably like one of my favorite stands in the story because like it seems that
Uh-huh.
it is like Dio's influence on Poochie, like almost literally. Like
Yeah,
the way he creeps around, it's almost like a vampire, crawling on the ceilings and all
yeah,
that. And like the way he can manipulate people's memories is kind of like the flesh buds. It just kind of seems like he has like part one Dio as a sidekick almost.
yeah. It's pretty great.
Like even the fact that he has to give it verbal commands, like like it shows that there's like a degree of separation between them, which kind of like makes it seem more like a tiny bit more like a partnership than like most stands.
Yeah, because like there's a few stands that are hyper dependent, like Sex Pistols, but um, no, I really like White Snake and what else?
I really like
The problem
his
is I
whole.
finished part 6 days, so the only thing in my head is the ending.
Yeah, okay. One of my favorite notes was like this is one of Poochie's earliest lines is that what separates humans from other animals, because we read that like dogs can like appreciate art and all that.
Mhm.
It's that only humans try to reach heaven, and but then we get Foo Fighters, so Poochie literally played God and gave some plankton like intelligence, and now that
Yeah.
plankton has a soul and formed memories and bonds with other people, and he's like, you lowly fucking plankton, get the fuck out of my sight. You shouldn't be here right now. You should be dead. You shouldn't be trying to do any of this shit.
Right.
So
That's
yeah,
also why another cool aspect of that is like, a major part of his flashback is someone he knows awakening a stand that turns people into animals.
yeah. And another one I liked. This is one of his interactions with Dio. Is that Dio, calls one of Michelangelo's sculptures like a stand outlasting as the user, and that's what Poochie is for Dio. He's Dio's will after Dio has died.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though he wasn't like
Dio's
a
will is a
part.
lot nicer.
Yeah. Like, sorry. And that's kind of like why I think Emporio was kind of like the last one to, like face off against Poochie. And it's like Poochie wasn't
Yeah.
directly related to Dio or the Joestars at first. He was just, like he inherited Dio's will after Dio died, and that's what happened with
Hmm.
Emporio. Emporio inherited the Joestar's will, and like even like Weather Report's will too, which is Poochie's bloodline, strangely enough. And then like
Yeah, and
yeah.
that's why that's why Emporio is like a little kid. He's a little kid who really was born in the Stone Ocean. So like he is like someone born in like the embodiment of like how fucked and unfair the world is, embracing all of the wills of the people that live in it and fighting Poochie. Like it's a very strong piece of symbolism.
Yeah, another reason why I love White Snake and well, I guess not White Snake, it's a Sea Moon, like the evolution of it, is the
Right.
that and Weather Report, like both of them like have like both an automatic nature to the stand and also like a deliberate one where it's like, oh, once Weather gets his memories back, Heavy Weather just happens, he can't stop it, he can't turn it off, but he has other aspects of power that he can control, like, oh, I can like freeze this or like dry this out. And then with Crescent Moon, you have the automatic thing, which is gravity goes sideways now. It just I'm the center of gravity. I just that, and also I can deliberately turn things inside out if I want to. And considering that like Poochie's whole thing is about like embracing destiny, it's like, oh yeah, there's parts of my power that literally I can't control. It's just happening, and it's just gonna happen, and I'm gonna let it happen. And the same happens with Weather. But the one thing that Weather could control was like like the deliberate part of his stand, and also the fact that he could give it to Emporio after it was turned into a disc. So like he
Right.
made the choices he made, overcame Poochie's destiny and all that, and I think that's cool.
Right. Now I'm gonna bring up two dumb jokes now. Joke one: could Jotaro have beat Poochie with Starfinger? Yes.
Oh my god, he could have. He
I know.
literally could have.
Uh, so that's number one. Number two, which is a joke everyone's made. It's like, oh, the JoJo part that shows how the world is innately corrupt and all the fucked up shit in it takes place in Florida. That's also easy dumb joke.
What's
But
my
no,
dumb.
no, literally everyone has pointed out that panel and been like, he could have used Starfinger there.
You were 2 steps too slow. My star finger is longer than 3 steps.
That's funny. Listen, man, he forgot how to do it with age. Only his youthful creativity
Right, he's not in his
could
prime
conjure such
anymore.
a stupid power.
He's not in his prime anymore. Okay, only in his prime could he have done Starfinger. He's washed. You know what's my fun headcanon?
What?
So Anasui is probably my least favorite member of the core cast. Because
I
he's
agree with that.
yeah, he's just kind of one note and like whatever. But like it's
He's very
funnier. It's funnier for me if I imagine that he is a man who became a trans woman then detransitioned because they heard Jolyne was into guys.
that is definitely the funniest reading.
Yeah, because like at first I was like, oh, they're introduced
He
as a woman.
transitioned out of sheer horniness.
Yeah. So so like in that first pan where they're just a chick and then like they just forget about that completely. It's like, oh, I'm gonna headcanon that he's a trans man now. But then it says it went to the backstory. It's like, oh, as a young boy, okay. Hmm. How
We
do
can
I make
fix
this?
this.
How do I make this work now?
We can fix this. Yeah, no, they're definitely the weakest member of the party.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Anyway, the ending's neat because the villain like half wins.
Yeah. Um, I think the one thing I don't like about the ending is the thing I didn't like about the ending back when I first read it, and it's just kind of the
What would that be?
thing kind of inherent to like weird universe resets like this. It's just that
Yeah,
that's not the character I've been following this whole time. And I feel like I lost my emotional connection to them.
but it's like you gotta roll with it.
Yeah, okay,
It's
but
like
I don't
if
like
you
that I
can
have to roll
accept,
with it.
it's more like if you can accept what it's going for, which can be hard to do.
Yeah, like I think on some level I can, but also I'm just like, that's not my Jolene. That's not the Jolene that went to prison. This bitch has never been to prison. She doesn't understand. She doesn't get it.
Yeah, there's other series that do that, like Eden Zero.
Well, I mean, like in Zero, like I feel like it was
Well, no, it's not the MCs though. It's only the side cast, but
yeah.
still.
Like I was thinking this is more like like annoying superhero comics. You're like, oh yeah, we did a universe
Yeah.
reset, man. This version of Huntress it still thinks she's Batman's daughter, but she's not. Batman in this
Mhm.
universe isn't dad. You just gotta roll with it, man. Just roll with it, okay? Just roll with it. Forget that happened.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Should I just go to the comments now?
Sure.
All right. Part five opinion. Part five is the most consistent part. There's not a single bad arc. But calling JoJo thing parts, separating it into arcs almost feels weird because it never takes that long.
Yeah, like what? You're gonna be here for like, if you're reading it, you're gonna be here for like 20 minutes at most, man. Like, come on.
Part six. Foo Fighters has the best death scene in the OG universe. Her being happy that she has a soul makes me tear up. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
And then the order they got into JoJo was 1, 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2, 3. What the You
One
made it through
five.
one and then didn't get to two? What the
I guess it was just like, oh, I'll watch the beginning because I have to, and then it was like, you know what? I'm sold on it. I'll skip around, which is
No,
usually not how
no,
people
I guess it's
go.
just funny
I'm
to
a
imagine
little.
like you made it through one but didn't make it through two. Yeah, good for you. You read everything eventually. Some people have theories that Stroheim was killed by a Soviet stand user. No, I want it to be a lame death. He deserves it.
I
It's
hope
also
it was
just
just like
funnier.
literally like he just got outgunned and run over like by like 8 tanks, and then something fell
I
on
still think
this.
it's funnier if he just got hit by like fucking air artillery instantly and didn't get to do anything. Part five. Holy shit, there's a lot here. Um, I know the argument that he's there to be the backbone and development to the gang, but Giorno is still boring. We've already said why we don't agree with that.
Well,
I like
yeah,
that
Giorno's a
Jotaro.
shitty JoJo. Butcherati's the real main character.
I'm pretty sure we have a comment that actually says that. Um, I like that Jotaro is investigating Dio's kids, and that leads to him neglecting his family. Yeah, this does set up part six.
Yeah.
But I like that Giorno gets revenge for the janitor killed by Black Sabbath instead of just feeling bad about it like other JoJos. That is true. Like, yeah, it's like Giorno. I mean this unironically. Has the strongest sense of justice out of any JoJo, which is very stupid to say, but it's true.
Yeah. But that reminds me, one of the other reasons why 6 and 5 have such a good synergy is really because like they kind of retroactively made JoJo fighting Dio in Part 3 like the most important event to ever happen in the JoJo
Right.
universe, kinda. And now it's like literally they're two direct descendants back to back, and they both like reject destiny in different ways, and I think that's fun.
Um, Araki should have went with girl Giorno like he originally planned. I mean, Giorno's gender has like no bearing on the story, so I guess I don't care either way.
I think it
Um,
does. Buchirai is a gay man, so he would not be
yeah,
attracted to
that
the.
is true. Actually, I don't actually know. We only need one woman because then my Trish shits in the cuck chair during gay night joke goes away. So
Exactly.
no, you're wrong. Um, I like that Abakio distrusts Giorno and only chills out before he dies. Well, he like slowly mellows. Like he slow, like he like basically Abakio can tell Giorno's lying, but he also knows that Giorno is on his side.
Well, that's another
And he just
fun analysis that was in Purple Haze feedback was like, oh, all the characters kind of like Like project their own personality onto Giorno.
Don't be eating into my ear. If you're eating into my ear, that means you're eating into theirs.
like Abakio, like was like, this is untrustworthy bitch because Abakio didn't think he was a trustworthy guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next, it's wasted potential that Trish and Giorno never bond over their evil dads. Giorno doesn't know his dad's evil.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know.
Like he can vibe it because he has the scary picture of him. But Pesky unlocking his full potential is amazing. I do like how it's like the rise and fall, where like he reaches the pinnacle, but then right after he becomes just like basic mafia scum, like immediately after.
Yeah.
Mista surviving, getting 3 bullets in his head. Yeah, that was bullshit. The explanation for how he lived wasn't even good. Ariver Delchi is the best attack rush. Wrong. It's Naranchus. Uh, I hate that Araki started making stand designs more mechanical. Gold Experience has a boring design. I actually think part of this is the anime's fault because they have a very mechanical sound effect too. In the manga, like the first color spread of Gold Experience where it's white, it doesn't look mechanical. It looks like a bug.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression I got because like all the partly was just all the
Ladybug.
fucking ladybugs all over it.
Yeah, it's a like I think it's a bug, not a robot. Um the user of Notorious B.I.G. needed more build up to explain why they could commit suicide. No, because it's a horror chapter. It's a horror arc. Araki wants to write horror, so
No,
this was his
I'm
main
gonna be
horror thing.
completely honest, dude. I do not give a fuck about the Notorious
Carne, don't give a
B.I.G.'s
fuck about
user and his
Carne.
character. No.
No, as Notorious B.I.G. stand puff, I took 500 screenshots of him because he's such a cute little guy. We were told that the it's implied that the more brutal the death, the more angry the stand comes back, which also implies that if Misa just shot him in the head once, maybe Notorious B.I.G. would have been easier to deal with. uh, no, but it's I don't know. It doesn't need build up. I guess it could have like a retroactive flashback, but I think the fun of it just comes from the fact that it's this weird, unexplainable like monstrosity. It's like a stand powered by death instead of life, and that makes it like uniquely powerful.
Yeah.
I wish there were more sentient stands like Sex Pistols and Spice Girls. Uh,
Oh,
I
I think my
I love
favorite attack
Sex
rush.
Pistol. He's really funny.
I think my favorite attack rush might actually be wannabe.
It's pretty good. Sex Pistols is great.
If you
I
wanna
wouldn't
be
call
my
Spice Girl
lover.
sentient the same way. Spice Girl feels like Jolene's like not Jolene, like Trisha's inner brain talking to her. Whereas Sex Pistols is just a bunch of little shits, and I
A
do
bunch of
love
little
them.
goblins. He's gotta feed his little goblins.
We should have some goblin ass stands every part. This is true. Um, Trish should have had more fights. I would have liked one more fight.
Yeah.
Dioval's supernatural birth feels a bit much for JoJo. Who cares? I died.
It's weird to say a bit much for
Foo
JoJo's
Fighters is
when
made of slugs.
it feels weird to
Or
say a
algae.
bit. If it's weird to say a bit much for JoJo's when it's like the one where fucking vampires, ghosts, and psychic powers are everywhere, and if you breathe the right way, you get superpowers, and
Hmm. I feel like
it's-
the human devil could do better than Mob Boss. I think it works for what because Diovel wants to be low key.
yeah.
um, I wish we got a scene of Diovel and Trish talking so she could directly challenge his kill the past philosophy. I don't think they need to talk directly because his philosophy is challenged through the character's actions and how he loses.
Yeah,
Being turned into a turtle is a really sad end for Polnareff. I'm just sad he doesn't get to see Jotaro again.
I hope that like his little ghost can hang out in the room. So if you jumped in, you could just sit on the couch with Polnareff. I
Oh
hope
no,
he's
no,
on
that's what I
that
want. I
level.
want Jotaro to visit him, and then they sit in the couch together and chat it up. And Jotaro like brings him like he's like, here's the latest French movie in case you're wondering what's going on there. He's like, that guy's the star now. I think it'd be really nice for him. Bucciarati is the best protagonist. Fuck off. It's also because Bucciarati doesn't feel like a protagonist either. Like first half of the story, Bucciarati is actually like way more passive than Giorno is. He barely talks in like where was he during fucking Man in the Mirror?
He was watching Trish.
An endless death loop seems excessive for a mob boss. Dog, he ruined a lot of lives. I like sleeping slaves, where revealing characters are fated to die after they died is pointless. I feel like you don't understand the point of the epilogue. The point of the epilogue is that through trying to destroy fate, it's actually more dangerous to fight fate because it went from just Bucciarati being fated to die to three of them being fated to die. But that effort is required to succeed in breaking fate. So it's like it's the double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I guess like
that's
another fun irony about Diavolo's death is that like how he wanted to erase his past and his existence and sort of become nothing almost, and then he was reduced to zero.
yeah. And then we got someone who just had your polpo thing of how it encourages a lack of trust. Giorno having no stated opinion on Dio was a great reinforcement of Part Five's themes. Yep, that's the point. Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I do like someone who said Diavolo fetishizes his innocent past self so much that he keeps him around as a little assistant. That's a very good description. I like that.
Don't worry, my dear Doppio.
I wish babyface stand users stuck around longer. I would have liked if we got like two baby faces.
It'd be really funny if like I don't know,
I
like
think the ideal is like the first one just jumps us out of nowhere and we like decimate it, and then later we see him make a new one. I think that could have been fun.
I was thinking like
Like
after Giorno beats up the first one, the second one teams up with someone else. And it's like, ah, fuck, it's that guy again.
he teams up with him like 3 times in a row, and they're like, I'm sick of this shit. Dude, that's what he pretends Babyface is his like the guy he teams up with pretends Babyface is his stand and then reveals his later and pulls it out. um hot take, Narancia versus Formaggio is one of the best stand fights in the series. It's a very fun strategy fight while also being from the POV of the villain.
Yeah.
Part 6, Jumpin' Jack Flash should have been an armor stand like White Album. I do wish we got more armor stands because the only armor stands are White Album, Oasis, and Yellow Temperance, if you think about it. um,
I
people
guess
who dislike
technically Stone Free might be one if you want to be like the strings are all
kind of
she is the strings and they're all and they could catch bullets for her and stuff.
People who dislike the punishment ward arc in part 6 are dumb. Literally every stand and fight is great. Yeah, I don't dislike any part of part 6. I just have fun the whole time.
Yeah. I just have weird feelings about the last chapter and that's it.
No, that's fair. I still like it. Emporio's mom was the original stand user for Limp Bizkit. Since both it and burning the house down have to be revived with dead things, sure, it's a fine headcanon.
Yeah.
Whitesnake has too many damn abilities. He's a boss. Let him.
Well, I mean, like, I guess it's just like, okay, he has the stand disc and the memory disc, and then, he's also fairly strong. And he has a good, decent, like, he seems to have, like, decent everything, and then just a busted thing on top. I'm not sure if it's too much abilities. Yeah. Shit, you're right. I forgot about the first one they revealed, which is the weird, like, cold room thing he did, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
Listen, man, you can do a lot of things, okay?
No, you see, this is a commentary on Starfinger and damage reflection. This time the villain gets a power you have to forget about.
Hot takes for part 5. The fact that Giorno is Dio's son is shown in the part. Giorno is a monster, all caps, that kills all his enemies, always plays dirty, and wants a selfish desire. It's not selfish. You said even if it's for good deeds. It's not selfish. Giorno literally wants to take over the mafia solely so that he can stop drugs. Like, that's his only goal.
Yeah, it's like evil will exist, but I will control evil to be less evil. That's basically
only reason why the community doesn't share the sentiment is due to Rocky not wanting to shove it in your face. Do people act like? Do people think Giorno doesn't act enough like Dio's son? I feel like that's very blatant.
Yeah,
Bucciarati is the co-lead of the part. I don't care if he isn't as good as Gyro. He is the main character for most of the story. No, he's not. Why is everyone lying? I'm so sick of this.
Giorno's a shitty JoJo. Bucciarati's the real main character.
He's not even relevant that often. Like, Puff, what's funny is I would sooner accept that for the second half. Because for the second half, we do focus on Bucciarati a lot more. Because the first half is more Giorno trying to get the gang to not fucking hate him.
Oh, another fun headcanon I have for JoJo. I think Bucciarati's the only one of the characters that have died that went to heaven because he's the only one getting carried up by angels.
No.
Everyone else went to hell.
No, here's why. Avdol and Iggy went almost right after dying, but Bucciarati has been a walking corpse for so long, his soul is too physically tired to go itself. The angels need to help him. He's too tired.
I just thought, he's the only Christian who died.
Oh, yeah, Yeah, most of the Italians in JoJo are Catholic.
Yeah.
Diavolo versus Risotto is a masterfully written fight by Araki. I actually didn't like it. It's like it's not Stars and Stripes because he's not a woman, but it is a Stars and Stripes esque fight.
Yeah, you know, you
It's just
introduce a top tier to
here's the
drop to the villain, so the villain
here's
can
the
be
top
scary.
here's this super cool top tier who is insanely strong, more or less the strongest person we've met so far. They're just gonna just die to the villain. I don't like it very much. Like it's fine, but like, it's just not a type of fight I like very much. Uh, Part six. Rikiel out of his trio is the one that feels the most like a JoJo protagonist. He suffered his entire life similar to Holly, but then gained confidence to control it. Let me look up who that is because I can't remember
Oh,
the Dio Sons, the cowboy. The
one
cowboy
thing.
does not feel like a protagonist.
One thing I forgot to say about Jolyne, I think she's literally the only JoJo we've had so far besides Jonathan, who started her part as like kind of just a normal person and had to like become a badass through
Right,
it.
that's true. Um, uh, um, uh, Rigby. Wait, in the English dub, Narancha's voiced by Rigby. That's so funny.
Whoa.
That makes me very
Okay,
happy.
okay, like does he actually do the Rigby voice or is it just the same voice?
We will look into this later. Fugo is the least deserving JoJo side character to get a spinoff. He's the one who needs it the most because he got fucked because his art got like
Shafted.
fucked off. Like yes, there are more interesting characters who you could do more interesting things with, but he's the one who needs it. The part 5 dub is the best dubbed part. People should not be watching JoJo dubbed. What's wrong with you? One of the
I'm
best
look
choices for the series. I think JoJo's the weirdest thing to watch it dubbed. What is wrong with you? It's odd.
I'm looking through some of the screenshots I sent and I forgot one of the funniest things Jolene did early on.
What was that?
It was when she's in her monologue. It's like, was I just imagining it? Am I escaping into fancy? Is it because I spent my childhood without a loving father? Like
I
she
love
just
her.
defaults to that explanation. Oh, it's because I didn't have a
Um,
father growing up that this is happening.
One of the best choices the series made was limiting reoccurring characters. Part 5, 6, and 8 really benefited by focusing on their own characters and stories. Oh, I don't think that's true because I like when reoccurring characters show up. And it's not like Part 4 suffered due to Jotaro being there. That'd be an insane thing to say. Uh,
I'm a little confused as to whether part 7 and 8 is like the reset world we see at part 6 or not.
I don't
But
think it is.
if it is, it would be really funny if like in part 9 we just see Emporio show up. It's like, oh shit,
I'd
that's
love
the most
that.
important boy in the whole universe now.
Giorno orchestra theme is the best in the whole series. I like it. Here's the thing why here's how you know that part 5 memed too much, Puff. It was airing when I was in high school and it played over the morning announcements once. I was like, "All right, you unfunny fucks." uh Part 6. Anasui is one of Araki's best written characters. Oh my goodness, there's a fucking Anasui essay in here.
Really?
Fantastic arc about becoming more and more selfless, culminating in him becoming everyone's human shield and made in heaven. I think he gets more hate than he deserves because he's kind of a jackass. He's probably my favorite JoJo character personally. I think he's also been a victim of misunderstanding. His love for Jolene is probably the biggest part of his character, but for good reason. For Anasui, getting Jolene's approval is a way of vindicating himself. Admires Jolene and finds hope in her. Blah blah blah. It's not about marrying Jolene. It's about proving his worth.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh shit! I
Jolene
actually
is both a
forgot.
love interest and like a father figure that he's in desperate need to have approval from.
I forgot
uh,
about my least favorite thing about part 6 actually.
what's that?
The Bohemian Rhapsody fight.
Oh, okay. What's your beef with that?
I just this is partly because I was rereading it and I knew like how it
Mhm.
ended and you know like what it was like, but it was the only time in this whole read through that I was like genuinely tempted to just start fucking skimming through everything. I was like, oh my god, this is just kind of a slot. Oh my god.
That's
Oh
funny.
wow, look, he's turning to the big bad wolf and you're gonna get cut up by the thing and they're gonna draw a guy with the power to beat Bohemian Rhapsody and that's how
Mhm.
they win and you. It's like it's fun and crazy on your first read
Mhm.
through, but like you know, it's like there's nothing going on here, man. It's kind of
Mhm.
just a bunch of nonsense chapters in a row, I think.
Nice. Their understanding of Anasui is good. They just value like his emptiness and need for validation more than we do because we just kind of thought he was a weird goober.
Like, I think one
um,
thing that I wish got a bit more for Anasui was like how he had this fixation on taking things apart as a kid. So I thought like maybe we'd see his stand to do
nice.
something like that when it dived into something, which we didn't quite get that, which I was a bit disappointed by. But I'm glad someone likes Anasui.
Yeah. Someone brought up a good point, which is Giorno is actually like up to this point, like for long term, the youngest JoJo protagonist we've had, and that's kind of the point of like his dream is like really innocent. He's a 15-year-old who thinks he can stop drug crime by taking over the mafia, but then the point is because he's that starry-eyed young kid, he actually does it.
Dude, he did it in like 2 weeks.
He did it so fucking quick.
He did
Oh my
it in like
god.
2 weeks.
Most of it took like 4 days.
Imagine being
Uh,
15 years old and it takes you 2 weeks to become the
right.
mafioso boss.
Um, Someone just brought up a funny part order where it's read part 7 till Oklahoma and then watch Twister, the movie, to get Oklahoma lore. We got a bunch of people talking about how the other part 4 explanation is that for the button, because I hate the button, is that you can't restore it because it's its own thing once it breaks off. It's like, fuck off. Did you read the Tonio chapter? Get out of here. Um, Part 5 takes I'd like to weigh in on. Giorno and the boring protagonist. I think the boring part is a matter of opinion, but he is undeniably the main driving force. I agree. Like literally, Bucciarati would have been a stagnant bitch if not for this insane teenager. The it just works people have with King Crimson. I think King Crimson's not that like obviously if you read the OG manga, obviously King Crimson's never gonna make any fucking sense to you. But if you just watch the anime or read the manga now, I think King Crimson makes plenty of sense.
Yeah.
Uh, on the topic of King Crimson, what are your thoughts on how people try to recontextualize it as memory erasure? Well, what's the point of that? Just it's funnier if he just erases time. It's
Yeah, it's
funnier.
funnier if
It
he
also doesn't
erases
make sense
time.
because he gets shot. Also, minor thing about like
No,
why
dude,
I
the
like
bullet
part.
forgot that it hit him.
One other thing that I like that's just as stupid. uh, the other thing that I like with part 5 is nowadays is my favorite stand with Notorious B.I.G. Beautiful little boy. Uh, it has the stand named after my favorite album, so obviously I'm gonna like it. uh,
It's my
Still
favorite
on King
album.
Crimson. What?
I'm just thinking, what's my favorite album that's been, or like song,
Well,
I
my
guess,
favorite
or even
album is Court of the
artist.
Crimson. My favorite album is Court of the Crimson King. So it's wow. But on King Crimson, uh, thoughts on the idea that Purple Haze could defeat it? It absolutely can. That's not why Araki got rid of Fugo, but that is a funny
Well, I
joke
guess
reason
like it
of
would be like, oh, I erased the second I got infected with it, but then it's like, could you not get infected the second you're in the toxic
yeah, no, the
cloud?
point is like it would probably last more than 10 seconds. And also, but it's just a funny joke that Araki had to write Fugo out because he was too strong. It's like
Uh
that's not the reason,
oh,
but it's a really funny reason.
another cool thing about Diavolo is that I think he's the character who's like benefits the most from the fact that his stand name is named after a song or like a band because like
Mhm.
literally every time like I see him like in a fight, I just imagine the core of the Crimson King playing and that overbearing chorus going over anytime he chops
Nice,
someone in half.
nice.
I think
Um,
part of it's because I watched like the JoJo leitmotif videos back in the day, so like it's lodged in my brain now, but I'm glad it is because it makes reading it so much more fun.
mhm. All right, let's see here. Do y'all think it was out of character for Jotaro to not try and check up on Polnareff? He probably did, and just didn't find anything.
Oh, another cute thing about Purple Haze feedback is that I like how I think most of the abilities in it are like named after Jimi Hendrix songs.
hmm
Like I know like all along the Watch was Bob Dylan, but like Jimi Hendrix was a very famous cover of it. I'm pretty sure that most of the songs in there were Jimi Hendrix ones. I'm confident saying that. I know Manic
All right,
Depression
let's.
is. I know
Right,
yeah.
nice. Anyway, part 6. Thoughts on Anasui gender and if it was a retcon or not. I don't know if it was a retcon or maybe Anasui was originally going to be like cross-dressing for like a smart thing, or if maybe Araki just drew titties and didn't realize it somehow. I don't know.
I guess like the only way I could
Maybe
explain it literally is that it was a retcon, but like I have my
no,
reading.
but like, what was the specific thought process behind it? I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
It would be
Like,
funny.
I
It'd
think
be funny if he's like, "This is Jolene's love interest," and the creator's like, "You can't do Yuri. You're in a shonen magazine. We allow yaoi, no Yuri." And he's like, "Fine." um, the thoughts on the take I've had that Hermes' revenge arc is just a diet version of Polnareff's. It's just because it's about something similar.
I kind of thought that like it was more like seeing like almost like Jonathan or like part 3 Jotaro like fighting Dio, like, oh, this immortal fucking monster man, I have to fucking kill this immortal monster man that came back to
No, but
life after it
I
killed
get the
my.
comparison to Polnareff because it's like this evil guy who very closely wronged my sibling.
Yeah.
Uh, on the topic of Hermes, I think the anime has more consistent characterization for her than the manga does because she really does feel more like of a Bugs Bunny fan to me than a Mickey Mouse fan. That's a funny joke. Thoughts on the official localization of Limp Biscuit to Limp Viscuit instead of Flaccid Pancake? Flaccid Pancake would be funnier. Thoughts on the weirdness of Giorno never being referenced in or out of text when the introduction of Dio's sons? Would have been funny if we just got a flash of him. Uh, Feel free to ignore this. Thoughts on the debate of what Poochie's and Weather Report's races are? I know. Here's my answer. They're both black, but Poochie was white passing when the lynching happened. That is my lazy answer because I don't want to
Yeah,
figure
I
it
think
out.
we may have seen like his parents in like one shot, and maybe they were both white. But then, if that's the case, my new
But
headcanon is the white. But if that's the
he's a
case, my
dark
new
baby though.
if that's the case, my new headcanon is the wife was cheating on him.
Yeah, let's go with that. Fuck it. Because like he was a dark baby, and also like it's just fuck you. I'm calling him black. I do what I
Yeah.
want.
I remember when I was
Technically,
rereading the flashback, I thought like, oh, did I misremember this? Because like like they said the lady who swapped the babies was married to a black man. So was Poochie the baby she left behind and he didn't die that night? Whoa.
that's funny. Um, Uh, Technically jumping ahead, but thoughts on JoJo fans thinking it's unreasonable for people to have been confused by the not very explicit explained universe reset. It's fine to get confused, but I think you should be able to figure it out with like a Google search. Um,
Yeah.
Thoughts on the theory that Stone Ocean's popularity was impacted by it being the least yaoiable? That is super funny. I
The
don't think
Fujoshis took
so.
one look and were like, nah. He lost it. He
I don't
lost the
think so because first
sauce.
of all, Yuri artists are also very powerful people, and secondly, and this is just the one that I stand by. It's not Yaoi versus Yuri. It's sexist shonen fans. What evil puff staple? um, this is semi-related. Bad take that's so self-evident in its badness. But I haven't seen a uh, one time I was over at a friend's house. All right, we're doing interpersonal beef. Let's go.
All right.
And their brother was there, and he found out I'm a JoJo fan, and he told me he only watched parts 1 through 5 and dropped it at 6, and sarcastically said because it's led by a woman. And his response was, "Yeah, kind of," before backpedaling. No, unironically, like no, shonen fans are sexist. I firmly believe that. Yeah, part of the reason Part 6 is not as popular. Well, one is Netflix, but good. Fuck you. You don't get your JoJo Fridays. I don't like JoJo fans. Uh, every comment underneath the fucking Part 7 trailer is Netflix make it weekly, and it's like Netflix, please don't. It'd be so funny.
See, the thing is,
uh,
like, JoJo fans can only, like, have their memes if it's like, oh, we have one new episode. We have to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Then that one will stick, and that'll be the new JoJo move that gets immortalized later on.
yeah, I
But they
don't want
can't
them to
do
have
that if not everyone's on the same page. So
But
I'm very sorry about your community, but I lose nothing.
yeah, but lack of Part 6 popularity before the anime shenanigans. I think a big thing is just shonen fans are sexist. That can even be my Hope Kid Can Canon for my Soul Eater never sold that well. uh
Dude, I know why my
um
Moggy videos are in the shitter right now. Because it was written by a
yeah,
woman.
yeah. Um Gonna repeat my part 5 and 6 take. Thank you. I would not have found it. I think people overstate the quality of Part Five's animation and issues with Part 6 due to difference in episodes. Part 6 first bunch clearly was rush. I wouldn't know. I haven't. Okay, skipping this. I haven't seen the Part 6 anime. Uh, the Part 5 anime, the White Album chase is really bad. It was. And Clash Part 1 was out of model. Dude, all I remember about Clash Part 1 was the gay rooftop boys stroking each other and going squallow. I was having a great time with that in the anime. I was having a blast. Um, I think the prime example of really overstating issues with Part 6 is Eye Patch Wolf. Oh, God. or due to one scene with C Moon not being the best adaptation, he says all of it is like that. Of course he does. He's Super Eye Patch Wolf. He's a fucking rat. Especially weird when each part has that one scene where the anime didn't do it full justice. Yeah, every scene does something not well. Um, uh, what the part 5 Giorno sunrise pose doesn't translate gracefully in animation. If you mean the White Album one, you're a liar.
Yeah, no, I remember that
Because
looking beautiful.
that is one of the great. If anything, the sun seeming to rush out of nowhere is like Giorno has arrived and brought the sun with him. Uh, something Super Apache Wolf criticized before. Well, Super Apache Wolf is like he can be smart when he wants to, but it's just most of the time his analysis is kind of bunk. Uh, my most unique part 5 take. I think Giorno is the perfect template on how to write an MC as mostly support. Yeah, it's true because like
Yeah.
even though he's not in fights, he's always inspiring people both literally, as in he keeps them alive, and also he creates motivation for a lot of people. I think that's true. Um, Wait, considering most my friends or my powers still end up hyper focusing on the MC. Nah, that's not true. You got Fairy Tail, which does both. Where Fairy Tail's also because Natsu gets 500 1v1s, but also Fairy Tail absolutely embraces the power of friendship means jumping a guy.
Yeah, man.
uh, um, I wonder if Mother's Basement would tell a Columbo fan to read the Agatha Christie novel starting from the murder reveal. That's funny. Um, I think part 5 was kind of burning out on JoJo. Took until the anime coming out to appreciate it. That wasn't just you. That was bad manga. I think there's an argument to be made of Passione being the best good guy group. I like Squallow and Tiziano. Best good guy. Okay. Uh, I'm glad their gayness is taken pretty seriously. Yeah, just they want to fuck on a rooftop. I love them. Um, Abakio dying the way he did felt cheap though. Uh, Well, like I don't know, because like Diavolo came here to kill him and then killed him.
If
uh,
anything, I think Narancho would have been the cheap one. Because, like, he just kind of, like, fucking died just so,
that
like,
one
holy
was
shit.
fucking random.
And I was like, holy
Uh,
shit, it's the final fight. Someone has to die so Diavolo keeps looking scary.
and it's Naran. Also, Narancha would have made it too easy. Um, uh, Mother's Basement told people to start at part 4 because that video was sponsored by Crunchyroll, and part 4 was trending on Crunchyroll. I believe that. I no evidence could be complete slander. I believe it. um, Giorno's character arc is literally incomplete because Bruno stayed alive post King Crimson. Well, but Giorno still takes the leader position even though Bucciarati's still alive, so I don't agree with that. I highly recommend reading Purple Haze feedback. It's a crime it didn't get a 3-episode OVA. OVA would have been fun. Um, I like to think Stroheim got wounded, then died of cold. Dude, what if he just froze? He's like, Russia's too cold for my German tick. No! I don't remember where he died. It might not be Russia. Fuck you. Um,
It's like, von
I feel like,
Stroheim, in order to overcome the disease, we must cut you
yeah.
open. We can't cut you open.
Uh,
You're too durable, von Stroheim.
oh yeah, Mother's Basement comment. Him being marketing brain was a symptom of his focus on how certain anime and manga have more influence in the culture as a whole. I think that was a problem like quote unquote good analysis channels used to have. Like Super Rat Patch Wolf would do it too. Where mixed in with their real analysis and their personal feelings is also like real world popular and influence and trying to tie it into their analysis in a way that always comes across loose and sad and comes across as either corporate cocksucking if you're Mother's Basement or well the graph says I'm right if you're Super Rat Patch
Yeah, yeah.
Wolf.
Well, you
And
see, the sales went down, or after a wrong car, meaning the bleach did indeed fall off really
yeah.
hard, just like my feelings
uh
said.
yeah, I know Mother's Basement is less like that now. Like he criticizes Crunchyroll pretty heavily now. I guess it's just because he's rich and doesn't get paid by them anymore. I'm kidding, that's a very mean interpretation. But um Uh, quick part 5 comment. Really funny how King Crimson's power works in a way that is almost impossible to portray in the comic medium. I don't agree with that. I think it was portrayed really well in the manga. Like it made because like it was just like the first because like obviously we're drip fed how it works to confuse us. Because the first time we see it, it's like, oh, we see it happening, and then we see it not happening with like King Crimson and Bucciarati fighting, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. And then we see precog through fucking what's his I always forget his name. Precog,
Doppio?
Diavol's weaker half,
Doppio?
Doppio. And then And then we see it actually. I feel like it just makes sense. Like I don't agree. Like I can't think of what because like it's super easy to show the time eraser.
Yeah, I
You
think
show
the one
it
that
happening, and then you show it no longer happening.
I think the one that kind of sold me on it was like, the one where Giorno's like dripping the blood on his hand, and then you just suddenly
Mhm.
see like 16 blots just appear. So he's like, "Oh, it's happening!
Right.
It happened." Whereas like
Yeah.
I remember this is something that you brought up is that like technically, Dio's powers struggle more in a medium like manga.
Because everyone's not moving. Um, for part six, Jolyne is my favorite Joestar. I love that she doesn't get a broken power, but continues to use her power to keep up with the stronger stands. Her character feels like a good combination of the previous Joestars. I agree. Um,
She's got
for
the character development of Jonathan, the the humor of Joseph, the deterrent, the
the
tactical,
punkness of Josuke.
the punkness of Josuke, the tactical mind of Jotaro, the
um,
and the gayness of Giorno.
yeah. For part five, I think it struggles by being Araki's least planned out part. Like the story does suffer from on the fly decisions, like to not bring back Fugo. Well, that one he said he did plan it. He just changed his mind and to add Polnareff due to fan pressure. Did he do that? Is there proof of that? Like I'm a little suspicious of whenever I hear an author did a thing because fans said so.
Yeah, I
Because
never heard
generally
that
speaking,
before.
that's usually a lie. But it could be true in this case. Um, Plus, can we all admit it makes absolutely no sense why Polnareff didn't get in contact with anyone? I gave my headcanon for it. Uh, Wait, an idea I've heard for someone regarding Dio's evil genes from part one is how it ties into the end of part six. Come on, come on, come on. um, let's see here. Let's see here. I don't like Slice of Life, so I skipped part four. Okuyasu can come back, but none of the gang from part five can survive. Giorno had a better healing stand, to be honest. First of all, no, he didn't. Okay, no, they're good in different ways. Uh, if it's immediately healing an injury, Josuke is second to none. But
You
if
could
it's
be
like
torn in
healing like a
half, and if he does it in a split second, then you're fine.
yeah,
You
but if it's
live.
like an older wound, yeah, because Giorno can literally bring you back from the dead temporarily. Araki forgetting doesn't make him a bad author. Well, yeah, no, it doesn't make him a bad author. It's
Yeah,
just like,
no,
oh,
obviously.
sometimes he makes mistakes, just like every human. Um, to be honest, yeah, dog, we said, sir, you can do whatever order you want, and it's not illegal. You just should preferably, um, part six, Dolphin Street Prison is kind of a boring setting. I
I
like it.
disagree.
Um, let's see here. Part
Like
six opinion.
I find it so
Rocky's
hard not to be sold on it when they're playing catch and fighting the what's it called the what was that stand called? I'm forgetting the name of it now. Oh no, the tax collector, something like
fuck.
that.
I don't remember. um,
But anyway, when they're fighting that one, and like like they're like, oh, but time's up. The guards are saying recess is over. You got to get back inside. It's like, oh, we got to pay off the guards now to extend the time to continue the game. Oh no, I think
mhm.
that's fun.
Yeah. Part six. Rocky's dialogue feels even more stiff and unnatural coming from Jolyne. Okay, but the whole point of JoJo dialogue is that it's stiff and unnatural no matter who's saying it. Speedwagon coolly retreats is innately stupid and unnatural, and it's never left. JoJo characters just kind of talk weird.
Yeah, like realistic dialogue when like say I don't know a fucking stand attacks you and a tentacle pops out of your chest. It's like, oh no, fuck, shit, what the fuck? Ah, that's realistic dialogue. What happens? Is oh, a tentacle has emerged from my abdomen.
Could it
What?
be?
Could it be an enemy stand?
Part 16, not enough try. You talked about that. Nasui is extremely unlikable. He's not my favorite. The Planet Waves and Dragon Streams fights are the worst in all of JoJo because of how confusing and poor choreographed they are. Dog, JoJo doesn't have choreography. That implies characters are like throwing hands.
Well, that was in the dragon fight. I know that there was a bit
Yeah,
of
there was a
that.
little bit, but I thought it was fine. Planet Waves. What's wrong with Planet
You know,
Waves?
like I
Also,
kind
I
of get
wasn't
that for the drifting dragon fight, but not the planet waves fight.
no, because I wasn't confused for any of these. So sorry, I guess I'm too smart. Jailhouse Lock is the best arc. It's good.
I
Rocky screwed
really
up.
love, okay, like I think it's like kind of stupid how it's like, oh, you can only like register 3 guards in your memory at once, so you know, like, well, then it just opens up a can of worms. Like, okay, wait, so like does she only see like 3 potatoes on her like lunch tray? Does she only see like 3 lights in the ceiling that are on, or like what? And then like they also show like, ah, you see, if I look in a reflection, that's one memory. It's like, okay, that's fucking cheating, that's stupid.
Mhm.
But then it ended with me like, Jolyne, binary though, 1 2 1 2 1 1 1 2 2 2 1 1 1
That's
1 2
funny.
2 2, and that's how they win. I'm like, okay, you got me. I love this so much. This is great, Araki.
All right.
This is
Next,
pleasant. This is so great.
uh,
I love you.
more Poochie race stuff. We already gave our take. Foo Fighters died too early. I don't agree because Foo Fighters got plenty of fights before they died. They were very well fleshed out.
I mean, you
I
could always
wish
ask for
part
one more thing, I guess, but
Yeah,
like
but
I'm
I
satisfied.
thought they were fine. Part 3 Dio should have been more like part 6 Dio. I like to imagine that Dio is only anywhere near that almost good of a person with Poochie. When he's fucking fighting Joseph and Jotaro, his fucking evil, his European roots come out, and he's like, I gotta kill him. It's like I'm in London again. uh, the
You
first part
cannot
6.
expect a man to act the same way around his boyfriend as he does his arch nemesis.
Yes. The first part 6 opening should have been in 2D, and the second should have been a mix of 2D and 3D, and then loop back to part 1. So sure, I don't care.
That's a
Uh,
neat idea, I guess.
Dio and Poochie have the
Oh,
worst
I
dual
really
art.
love how in the second part 6 opening, they have Jotaro interrupt the opening with time stop only for Poochie to interrupt his time stop.
It's baller. Um, Apparently Dio and Poochie have a boring combo attack in the fighting game. Uh,
That's tragic.
Uh, Dio and Giorno's DHA in Eyes of Heaven imply Dio would respect Giorno, but I don't think Dio would respect any of his kids. I think he'd look at Requiem and be like, all right, I'm going to say that's because of my blood. Fujiko's
I think
bizarre
if he met his kids with
when
the
he was
junkies, like,
into the
fuck
game.
off, you remind me too much of
Oh,
my
that.
dad. If he saw the cowboy, he'd be like, fuck off, you're a loser. And if he saw a dirt boy, he'd be like, fuck off, dirt boy, you're like barely worth my time. You can work with
Uh,
Whole Horse if you really want, I guess.
nice.
And then he sees Jordan's like, oh, of course only my progeny could become the mafioso bog in 2 weeks. Only my blood could produce such great
Yeah.
stock.
And then we have basically there's another JoJo spinoff we didn't read that's like I think a funny comedy. I'll read it at some point. The Jolyne belly button piercing scene was weird. JoJo's weird. Kakyoin fed shit to a baby.
He did.
All right, now Puff, I'm going to miss something because we asked for part 6 on the last video, and that video has too many fucking comments. All right. I believe in myself. I'm just gonna go fast. Um, oh, there's so much One Piece.
No.
Damn you all for being on topic. Up off one minor thing I'll have to correct next time too. We kept calling no, to be correct, I called Kumadori Konkoro like 5 times and you never corrected me.
Oh, I didn't notice.
It was very funny. Um, Part 6 take. I wish we got more cameos from characters reacting to Made in Heaven instead of just one Rohan. I would have liked to just see like characters in the final alternate dimension. I think that would have been fun.
I think my
Uh,
favorite panel of Made in Heaven fucking with people is the one guy who's like, I can't keep up with all the dust. I can't clean the window. The dust collects too fast.
we got someone else who said part 6 hey is because of sexist shonen fans. You're probably right. Oh my god, there's so much here. Part 6. Ultimately, oh, this is long. I find it the most forgettable part somehow. Um, let's see here. I do just like the Dragon's Dream fight. It's a slog, even though I think it's meant to be a gag. I never found it funny. Poochie's a great villain. I think Dio's kids are actually pretty good. I think people hate on them because someone like they get a lot of hate. I think it's just because they expect them to be Giorno tier, and then they're just obviously not.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
mean, the
don't
one who
like
felt
that.
like he could be as dumb was Dirt Boy, because Dirt Boy has a pretty fucking stupid power, but
I didn't like the end of the heavy weather arc. It feels jarring to go from weather killing Poochie to weather dying and Poochie being just as composed as ever. I think that just shows like how like accept like Poochie like fully accepts that the world's fucked. So when something fucked up happens, he's like, "Yep, that's how it be."
Yeah, like Poochie's a
uh,
fanatic. I think like he's already killed him once, pretty much, or like when he took
yeah.
his memories away.
I feel like a
One thing,
lot of
oh my
fan
god, I forgot
hatred.
about one of the funniest things about the heavy weather fight.
What would that be?
So, the whole thing's like, oh, it's just an illusion, it's subliminal messaging and all that, right?
Yeah.
But then Poochie can hide under the snails. How does he know where everyone else is hallucinating the snails?
Because he's a genius. Uh, I think a lot of the fan hatred towards Part 6 might just be that it's the one where the most people are confused, besides Part 8, apparently. Most people, myself included, don't really understand the ending. Okay, if you asked me to tell you what Made in Heaven does, I won't. But I can tell you what happened because he used it. um,
I think the most
uh,
confusing part, like, and doesn't really matter, but is how the fuck did Dio find out he could do this?
he's smart. Uh, it's funny that Dio was able to figure out that, but not Requiem.
It's like he skipped a few steps.
um, most people I've seen hating on Jolyne are just misogynists. That's probably true. Also one of the bigger JoJo YouTubers made a big deal out of hating Part 6 forever, and I think it hurt it a lot for the fans. He's also the guy who got really annoying about with a Rocky Forgot jokes and also was a weird 4chaner. Oh, I think I know who that guy is. What was his name? I think he had like a Shuckle channel gimmick. I think I know who you're talking about. Also, there's the anime release kind of sucking. I'm glad it sucked. I'm mean. Uh, I will sacrifice Part 6 discourse for the sake of JoJo fans having less annoying memes.
To the altar of convenience.
Uh, Part 6 is overhated. It's the fandom's least liked part besides one. Yeah, that's probably true, and it's a bit of a shame because it's good. uh Scanning part 6. All right, if I skip your comment, I'm sorry, there's a lot here. Apparently a lot of people admit to speed reading it to get to 7. Okay, I can also see that happening because of how hyped up 7 is.
But if that's the point, just fucking just skip if you really
Listen, man,
want
some
it.
people some people feel like they're not allowed to. Okay. um
All right, and you shouldn't, but like, don't skim it. That's like almost
Listen, man, oh, no,
worse.
obviously it's dumb, but I do believe a lot of people probably did do that. Part 6 discourse, if I remember correctly, is that it sucks and you should speed read it to get to 7. Apparently that was discourse. Alright, that's funny. Part 5. I understand why people are mad at Fugo leaving in the middle, but it is funny and realistic, I agree. King Crimson isn't hard to understand, I agree. I think it could have been, like, explained to us more simply, but you know how JoJo be. It refuses. Someone pointed out Part 5 isn't gay, it's just Italian. And I would say, as far as Araki's concerned, those are the same thing. Oh, Puff, our joke! Jotaro's more Italian than Giorno. Genetically. Because what, he's, uh, he's a quarter Italian.
Yeah.
And Giorno is British Japanese. This is funny. That also means Jolene's more Italian.
Oh my
I'm pretty sure the
god.
main reason people dislike part 6 is either because they are a manga reader and rush through to get to 7. Wait, this is the third comment about this. Is this a real thing people do? What? That's insane. I
Oh
hate
my
JoJo fans.
god.
Okay. Um,
I didn't think it would be that bad.
and also, no JoJo part is that fucking long. Titties aren't big enough in part 6 on like which characters specifically. um, as far as JoJo parts go, the stands are like sweet spots of JoJo stance. I agree. 5 and 6 are like a really highlight for like the stereotypical idea of a stand. Uh, oh my goodness. I favorite scene. Oh, what'd they remove? Weather Report gets his memory back and suddenly turns into a different person. He's not Weather anymore. He's Wes Poochie. They removed that? Oh, that's fucked up.
Well, that is kind of really weird, because like,
That's an
that
interesting
was super
choice. I wonder why
important.
that. Hmm. All right. We're done.
All right. Whew. Well, I think part 7 and 8 are the ones I've most
Oh my
been looking
goodness.
forward to
I love
most
7, and I haven't
because
even read 8, so that's super exciting.
yeah, like the thing is, part 7 is like I remember loving it a whole lot, and I don't remember it
Mhm.
as well as 4, so I was really looking forward to that. And 8 is just like I never read it beginning to end, and there's
Mhm.
probably a ton of shit I'm forgetting, so it'll
I
be kind of new almost, hopefully.
what I'm looking forward to with part 8 is we have a hater in the cult who doesn't like part 8, and he outright said that if I like it too much, he wants to join to balance it out. Anyway, bye. Give us 7 and 8 takes, and I
Yeah.
won't read them
Oh,
until I read
one
8.
thing before you, should we just do part 7 next time, or should we try and do both? What?
I think we'll finish 7, and we'll see how long we think it's going to be. Like, once you and I finish reading 7, we'll talk and we'll decide how long we think that would take.
Yeah, okay, just try and make sure to stay away from this
Next
comment
week's.
section then, because it's probably gonna be
Yeah, no,
full
I'm
of
not
part 8
reading it. I'm not
spoilers.
reading it. Spam part 8. I won't read it.
I'll
But
probably have to read if we only do part 7 next time. I'll probably have to read the comments.
yeah, we're gonna have to do a One Piece video anyway to address how we are never wrong ever. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Goodbye everyone.